Hello, chat. We are back for another. I am hearing an echo.
It's not me. I don't think. It's not me.
Is
I
it
don't think.
me? It is.
me.
Is it? It's me. Fantastic. We are off to a great start. Chat, I apologize in advance for everything my ridiculous brain does today. Because reasons. But I am very excited about tonight's classic New York City story. Which is, of course, going to be completely innocuous, given the name of the game is Demon Hunters, a Comedy of Terrors. Hi, Technomouse. We came for your ridiculous brain today. Good! Feel free to keep boosting the players, because they're the ones who are going to have to suffer under my ridiculous brain today.
Oh, dear.
Woohoo.
You do that by using points, channel points. The longer you watch, the more points you have, and the more you can mess with people. Whether that be the DM, or us. Because you can buy demon dice to screw us over, which pleases the DM. You can buy faith dice, which means that we can use them to try and not die. Or do something utterly ludicrous, like spearfish ourselves through a giant kraken's head. Happened once. Not to us, but it happened. That was on DG Game Night when Nathan Rice was playing.
Oh, that's right. I was a player, not the GM. And it was another channel. I'm like, that sounds familiar.
For 800 points, you can drop a custom NPC, which will appear tonight. And for 1,000, you can drop a new aspect, which is something about the scene that is true. So if you want to light the entire building on fire, that's your chance.
Arson, arson, arson.
And tonight, it won't cause a roll in the morality table.
Yep.
No, it will not, because we are not playing World of Darkness tonight. We are playing Demon Hunters, which was developed by Dead Gentleman / Zombie Orpheus, based on the Demon Hunters movies and shorts that are all on YouTube. If you join our Discord, we have links to all those things in one nice, convenient place. It is a very, very fun IP. And I enjoy it much, and I apparently have a superpower of being able to roll up tables roll up new modules in under 2 hours. But then I also forget to eat while I'm doing that, which is part of why I'm off the wall tonight. Neurodivergent pride? Anyway, if you can't tell by now, I'm GMing tonight. Fear me. And yeah, but we also have players, thank goodness. Let's start with Merc, because Merc already handily described our channel point system.
I was about to say, cheers, bro, the string to that, but okay.
Cash, nope. Channel points, yes. Woohoo.
Yep. Just time. I'm Merc. This is basically the only stream thing I do. Every other week I play Dune the Wolfblood. Tonight I'm playing Ratch, who is one of my Demon Hunters characters. He's a crotchety old man.
Woot!
A very old and kind of very crotchety old man. Yes. Dracus.
Alrighty, I'm Dracus. I'm playing Shay Blakely tonight, who is currently a ghost.
In part because of
all my moves from poltergeists. It'll be great.
It's technically my fault that Shay's okay. Well, Dracus rolled a 1 on a demon dice, and then I did a dick move thing. So I partially feel guilty.
It's been fun.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like we're very good at yes and on this channel. And Shay, I hope Shay has. I'm hoping Shay has a lot of opportunity to be a shitty little poltergeist tonight. And Josh, you're playing a relatively new Demon Hunter, but we have seen him before.
We have. So I'm playing Artie Sishmak, who's a night-possessed SCA geek, who's a hacker with ghostly arms and armor.
Woohoo! So I meant to ask this before we started streaming. Your ghost friend, is that like just like a data bank of knowledge, or more like an invisible friend or GM fiat?
Mostly it's GM fiat. It's mostly possession rather than wandering, but you know, if the GM wants to do stuff, I ain't gonna stop the GM from doing things.
I hope to not abuse this privilege, but I'm feeling wacky tonight. As per usual, I feel like I haven't written enough plot for a almost 3-hour game, but as we all know, I'm always wrong about that, so woot. Okay. So, if you are new to our channel and the way Demon Hunters Takes Manhattan tends to run, I live in New York City, and as many other GMs from many other systems have said, or I've heard them say, it's really easy writing plot for New York City set games. Although sometimes I have trouble watching other people's because they don't understand the geography. And that has led to me having some, like, metaphorical nosebleeds, like, okay, we are in a car chase up the highway on the east side, and then we go over the Washington Bridge, and then end up at LaGuardia Airport. Yes, Josh also lives in New York City, that, yeah. Yeah. I don't want to name names, because that's mean, but it's just like, yeah.
It worked. Yeah. In the from the 2018, whatever, the more recent Ghostbusters, but they were pretty clearly doing it on purpose.
I still haven't seen that, and I want to, and I just gotta. But yeah, sometimes it's fine to lampshade, but it's like Washington Square Bridge. Anyway, that bridge doesn't go to LaGuardia Airport if you're going from Manhattan to New Jersey!
No.
Anyway, so the setting I am developing and will hopefully someday publish if I ever have spoons again, is for the Demon Hunters sort of general universe, but I've been writing up a lot of New York City modules because it's fun, and there's a lot of deep lore inherent in being a New Yorker and living in this city. To that effect, thanks to a weird collection of local folklore I've gathered over the years, Washington Square Park is a Hellmouth. In 2008, the city decided, but the giant fountain doesn't line up with the arch. And millions, if not billions of dollars were invested in lobbying both for and against the plan to tear up the park. Like, it was all over the place. And eventually the city won, is like, no, we're gonna bust the shit out of this park, which was designed as a mandala to keep the Hellmouth closed. The Hellmouth isn't completely open, but it is also no longer completely closed. So since 2008, New York City has become decidedly more awful in terms of supernatural what-the-fuckery. Before that, New York City was surprisingly quiet, because, like, you know, a lot of people come to New York to escape a worse place, so the general consensus is keep your head down and just live your life. But no, 2008, wackiness ensues. So Theta 5 is traditionally the only ranked chapter of and this is all, fuck it, read the book. Demon Hunters are typically organized into chapters, Greek letter and number, denoting seniority by Greek letter, and another kind of seniority by Arabic number. I don't remember. ADHD brain, take it away. So Theta 5 it's usually Theta 5 and a couple of Omega groups, and Omegas are like bottom of the totem pole. Now it's like Theta 5 and at easily 1 to 2 dozen Omega groups at any given time. Plus, the request for more senior teams to be local to New York is now currently holed up in red tape. So they started something called NYC Auxiliary, where they ask other Brotherhood members from outside of town to come in to visit New York. We will get you show tickets if you help us fight demons, etc. So, because tonight we have a mixed group of NYC Auxiliary, you have you do not have chapter aspects, but you do have the local aspects of Vigilante Tourism. We don't validate parking, and you don't have a cipher, so cell phone cipher, which is something one of the Theta 5 members, Granny Flax, the cyberpunk Miss Marple, developed sentient software to put on your cell phone so you have access to a cipher because no one ever wants to play ciphers, which is kind of sad. One of the pre-gens is a kangaroo cipher. Someone played that once for me at Gen Con. That guy's popular. But so yeah, that's what you got. And we will...
I don't have a cell phone right now, do I?
I mean, you might you technically still had it in that bag, but you just can't really use it now.
Sure is somewhere.
I'm pretty sure Artie's got it, because I'm also pretty sure that Ratch is just one of those old guys who's like, get the fuck this, get your cell phone off my fucking lawn.
Well,
Artie totally has a cell phone.
Yeah.
Artie has managed to get not only the only cell phone in the group, but also 2 ghosts.
Wait, does that include the one I brought with me?
Yes.
Okay, good.
The other one's me.
Well, yes, that was not accidental on my part. It turns out when I'm building a character for a group that often has a ghost, I should have some way to interact with ghosts, becomes a priority.
I mean, that brings up an interesting part of Faith Core as a Fate hack. You can more or less do any action with any role if you can justify it to the GM, so it is not uncouth to start with your biggest dice pool and work backwards until something makes sense. So it's complete opposite of D&D. So if your character is science-y and has a high R&D, you could create an aspect that is, ghost communication device, or, ghost group text, or something to that effect. If you have a high, mysticism?
Mystic Arts.
Mystic Arts. I have your character sheets right in front of me, Chris. Okay. If you have a high Mystic Arts roll, then yeah, ghost communication spell. Generally, you roll 2 dice and see what happens. You can also use aspects to roll faith dice, of which you all start with 3. And various things can get you more of them. But your pool of up to 3 demon dice refreshes with every roll. So never mind the fact that once you've used demon dice, the GM gets to add demon dice to their own pool. So don't worry about it. It's fine.
And I mean, one of the places we can get faith dice tonight is you, chat.
Okay. I could look up if we had any left over after last time we played Demon Hunters, but I don't care.
Yeah.
But I do start with 3 demon dice, 1 for each player.
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
So, yes. We start our adventure, as we usually do for Demon Hunters Take Manhattan, in the local Brotherhood's New York City office, which is in Rego Park, Queens. A small commercial office space above a now permanently closed dress barn. Because this is where the Brotherhood can afford to rent real estate.
In New York.
In New York. So whether your characters are local or from elsewhere, you're still all vigilante tourists. Just, if you're local, then you can say you're the tour guide. Or consider yourself a tour guide.
Damn, tourists.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone wanted to use vigilante tourism as an excuse to hunt tourists, I would not. It depends on how high you roll, generally. My style of yes-ending players is, well, how high are you going to roll? And it's like, sure, go for it. So yes, you start in the Brotherhood offices. You walk through the door with this symbol emblazoned on it, but not gold-leafed. And as all 3 of you are Brotherhood agents, none of you incinerate on the way through the door ward. Unless
Probably for the best.
Anyone has anything to declare to me now.
I'm coming in through the ceiling because I can.
You still have to go through a ward, but you're still a Brotherhood agent, so... And yes, so to your right, there's a small kitchenette with decent coffee, though it's better at night, and, a whole bagel station, because pizza's a spectrum, but good bagels only come from New York City.
I look longingly at the coffee.
So Shay, I haven't played with you since you discorporated. Are you able to manifest visibly as a ghost now?
Yeah. We've been playing it pretty loosely, but like generally I can be visible when I want to be or invisible when I want to be. So, yeah.
I dare say, even if that wasn't true, you can be visible in the Brotherhood office because magic.
I still have a high mystic art, so I don't see why I don't have control over my ghostliness.
Yeah, I'm not being super strict. So, also I am the asshole who discorporated you semi-permanently, so... yeah. Anyway.
I mean, it's not didn't send them to a crematorium.
Yeah, presumably my flesh bag is out there baffling some doctors.
So what happened
somewhere
was Shay was a necromancer with the ability to just drop their body when it became inconvenient. Unfortunately, they then rolled a 1 on a demon dice, which is GM fiat to be an asshole. And it was the very end of the game. So rather than use it in, I think, the massive combat that was happening in the Ghostbusters firehouse, we'll just say
it was after the combat.
Shay was gonna go back for their body, but they forgot to leave their ID on it. It was in another bag, and their body got, because it was a fire. It is an active firehouse, so the firemen sent their body with the EMTs who could not identify it, and it's somewhere. Fran has been trying to find it when she has time.
I've been haunting New York in the meantime.
Yep.
If you're really unlucky, it went to the university.
I mean, that sounds like a great severe consequence, but I don't know if we're treating it that way.
I mean...
Okay, no, I strike that. If you're unlucky, it went to the university. If you're really unlucky, it went to the massive body organ scam that is, rampant throughout the United States and got cut up for parts. So...
Oh, this is Demon Hunters. There's worse than that happening.
There.
Still wouldn't be the end of the world. I'm clearly not dependent on its being intact.
Kind of hilarious, like you having to assemble the 5 pieces of your body like King Zodia. To get back into it.
And now you're a construct. Yay! The evolution of Shay.
Yeah. I mean, I said in chat, the other option for flesh bagless Shay was Ghost in the Machine Cypher Shay. Yeah. But that sheet's less refined, and I want to be a shitty little poltergeist tonight, so...
And this is another fun of being in a Fate hack system, is it's meant to be more rules and system light and more fun and cinematic for the players and GM. So that doesn't follow D&D rules, well, we ain't playing D&D. Also, there's a lot of speculation of, one of the things about being a Brotherhood agent is if you are a Brotherhood agent and you do good and die in glorious battle, or, just die, you get to go to the afterlife of your choice. So there's a lot of speculation of, is Shay dead, or is this the afterlife of their choice? Or are they still alive and this is more of a Ghost Dad movie situation? Shay, there are people writing papers on you. It's weird. Anyway, back to today's problem. So, yeah, the Brotherhood office, there's a kitchenette, there's a door on the outer side of the building that is a warehouse door, obviously. One of the problems with the Hellmouth is that it puts out a radiation where if you go into the warehouse, you better leave that door propped open. Because when you try to come back through, you might not end up in the same place or even still in New York. But there's a little door jam on this warehouse door, so they know what's happening. And at the far end of the office is Fran, a woman with an eye patch, 1.5 legs, which she refuses to have augmented in any way. And she is a little bit scary. But you're here to help, so maybe less scary? So, You all ready to work? And she just sort of spreads out your 7-day Metro cards on her desk in front of her. She has 3. It's like, Shay, do you technically still need one?
No, I go where I want now.
Yeah. It's just, it's a little weird because this also has the chip that gets you into warehouse doors.
Mm.
So...
Cute Loki gif. I do what I want! You remember that one?
Yes.
So, yeah.
I'm going to hold on to you, it for you in case you need it.
A good plan.
How did this happen?
Long story. You could totally just go watch a VOD about it.
Check our YouTube channel or our Twitch channel, which is here.
Yes, but that was an in-character comment.
Yeah, I know, and that was the joke.
Oh, Fadier, I'm sorry. The Fraggin' Wagon is the only pre-gen that I can't run in a New York City game. If you don't understand why, ask me on the Discord and I will explain the nightmare that is trying to drive any sized vehicle in New York City.
No, I love the idea of us just walking past the Fraggin' Wagon stuck in traffic.
Eventually, it doesn't matter where we're walking by. The Dragon Wagon is there, and it's stuck in traffic.
Okay, Fadier, we can do that if you want, but like, I'll also allow you to make. Oh, it's a bicycle. Oh, okay, that's adorable.
Yeah, okay.
So, custom NPC, Fraggin' Wagon bicycle.
Self-dragging cipher bicycle.
Does it have
Okay.
a basket on the front that works the same way as the Fraggin' Wagon glove box?
I say yes. I don't remember how that works, but I'm sure you'll tell me when it comes up.
Oh, the Dragon Wagon has a stunt where I think like twice a mission or whatever, it just has whatever is required in the glove box. Doesn't matter if that thing was there or not before. If you remember the glove box long enough, you'll find it.
Yeah, or if it could even necessarily fit in the glove box, as long as it could fit through the hole of the glove box.
Yeah, no, you could if you're very careful, you could pull an RPG launcher out of there, you know?
All right, so in the office next to Fran, there is also a bicycle leaning against the front of her desk. Oh, so R&D gave us this new cipher. This is technically an offshoot of the Fraggin' Wagon. Do you want him? It
Wonderful.
ring,
More
ring.
Technology.
I prod it.
Sure. Why
A bell on it goes ring ring all by itself.
Welcome.
I love you, my friend.
There is inexplicably in the basket currently is a set of earbuds, and there is weirdly a little headphone jack in one of the handlebars. You could do with that what you want.
I owe Stogie a lot, but not that much.
Oh, this I mean, this isn't Stogie, this is Granny.
Yeah, but I'm only here because Stogie asked for me and because, I owe him. But I don't owe him that much.
Chat, Stogie is a really old vampire that apparently leads Theta 5, but very few people have ever actually sure they have seen him. Because he's basically the Nosferatu sheriff of New York that you don't fuck with, is the basis for that. Like I've often said, this is like World of Darkness, only funny on purpose.
He and I go way back.
Yep. Ratchet is old enough and experienced enough that he may have actually met Stogie in person, whether or not he saw him. Many people think they have been in the same room with Stogie, but, like, there's a big scary thing in the shadows that I'm not sure I want to look at, and I'm a Brotherhood agent, yikes. So, today's, situation is a little bit, well, I mean, it's always a little bit strange, but this is a bit strange even for us. So, there's a PhD student at NYU who's gone missing. His name is Noel Gonzalez. He was missing as of 2 days ago. His NYU is put through a missing persons report, but that's not why we're looking into it. As you know, we have kind of an odd relationship with MUAHAHA, the Mad Science Union, in this book. Actual canon NPCs. Because this is New York and they're a union, and it's we're starting to get the sense that they have issues with the Hellmouth opening, so they kind of want to help, maybe? Well, anyway, we have a contact, we have a line of communication, and, they were very emphatic about, we are watching this guy, we are not helping him, because we thought he would be a good potential member. I'm like, okay, what was he researching? We can't tell you that because union rules. Thank you, Mad Science Union. Anyway.
You just say he was a PhD in physics?
Not physics. He, and she looks at her notes. They didn't tell us what he does, but we have his office location. It's in the NYU Department of Biology, which is on Washington Square East between Washington and Waverly Place. So, MUAHAHA is also concerned about proximity to the Hellmouth, and so are we. So, for some reason that they won't disclose to us, the union's also trying to keep this off NYPD's radar, even though the file's already been put in, or the report's already been filed, so...
Oh good, they'll only get to it next year.
Yeah, well...
So we'll be working around the cops, is what you're saying.
You might have to, it depends. I mean, they only filed it today, and I mean, even if it's NYU filing it, I'm not sure how much money they'd put, how much bribery they'd put behind it for a PhD student. Like, I don't know. I mean, they're also a college that literally revolves around the Hellmouth, so they're kind of evil. Or so I've been told, and led to believe. But
Just
yeah,
gotta stay out of the steam tunnels.
Oh no, that's Seattle.
What, Chris, in your universe, NYU is evil? Surprise.
Definitely evil.
Hashtag don't dox me. So yeah, we've got his lab location, his office location. There are also labs in the building. Get in there, look around, see what you can find out. And if you find leads, I leave it up to y'all whether you're gonna follow them or not. I think none of you are technically Omegas at this point. She looks kind of quizzically at Ratchet, who's technically retired, and Shay...
Who's also technically retired.
Well, actually, yeah, Shay and Artie are both in the sci-fi. Or we established at one point they were both in sci-fi together. Which is a psi level, which is like one step above Omega. So yeah, technically you're all senior team members. But even
We are not Omegas.
Even then, New York City is such a clusterfuck right now that they give their Omegas a lot more respect than other towns. So, and the cleanup crews and the auxiliaries and like yeah,
the cleanup crews are great. The Omega funerals are held every Saturday at noon.
Anyway, so yeah, you know, I'll be here. I mean, she looks at the bike again. Ring ring. And she points at a screen, kind of like, so it's basically a cell phone on that T square where the handlebars meet, and she's like, so yeah, it's basically a cell phone cipher, but it's also a bicycle, and it's also the fraggin' wagon. I don't do R&D. I do bureaucracy bullshit.
Self-driving bicycle, at least?
If it was, it would not be leaning against the desk.
And I tried possessing the bicycle, and then it's a self-driving bicycle because it's a Shay-driven bicycle.
I mean, at worst, you could poltergeist it along, you know.
Yeah.
I will allow you to build an aspect of... I will, not build an aspect. Oh my god, I don't remember what anything in this game is called.
Create an aspect.
Create an aspect, yes. I will allow you to create an aspect that is more or less permanent for this game session.
Okay.
Like I said, chat, how high do you want to do a thing? Well, how high do you roll?
Trying to remember what I have on my...
Create an advantage. That's what... Thank you, Technomouse.
Yeah.
Wait,
Create an advantage.
I would call this Shay bullshit, but that's just me. Or, excuse me,
I was
Shay
gonna-
ghost bullshit. I think you have that on your sheet, right? Like that's your
Ghost Rider! Call the
There
advantage
you
Ghost
go.
Rider!
No, it's definitely called Ghost Rider. I'm just saying that when you roll Shay ghost bullshit, which I believe is your
I believe
weird
that's
aspect.
fringe, yes.
Fringe, that's the word. I'm forgetting words.
I don't actually have a fringe discipline on this sheet.
Then I'm
Maybe I
sure
should.
it's-
Oh well, I'll do that later.
I'd say just Mystic Arts, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I usually use Mystic Arts for ghost bullshit because that's kind of intersectional for a necromancer.
Oh, I see. There's 2 pages to your character sheet now.
Yes.
One is Shay Blakely and the other is Ghost Shay. That is a good way to do it. Your GM.
Because I didn't want to destroy my normal Shay character sheet, but it's different.
Just shave off some time in creation there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna call this clever, I think.
Clever Mystic Arts?
Fair, clever Mystic Arts to possess a piece of technology. Rolled 2 8s, so that is a 16 to do this.
So that is a succeed with style. So
hell yeah.
A 10 is generally, if something's a difficulty of 5, I don't make people roll it. So 10 is standard diff, 15 is a succeed with style, and because I've used Faith Core to run Metaverse, a 20 is physics be damned. At which point the universe just decides you win at everything for the next 30 seconds, and it gets weird.
6 tons. Okay.
So Ghost Rider, building an advantage means if you get a 10, you get 1 free invoke of a d6, which is a lot like having an extra faith dice. But you got a 16, so you get 2. And even when you run out, I'm gonna let that continue to be an aspect, just maybe you might have less of a handle on it. Okay, so Ghost Rider. Alright, so you've got to wear... I cannot guarantee any warehouse doors in the vicinity of Washington Square Park will still work at all. So here's our warehouse door. If you wanna tool up, do it now. And we've got really big bags if you wanna carry really big weapons on the subway. We don't advise you do that, but we're just happy to have people helping us. We're not really gonna tell you what to do, just to try not to look any cops in the eye. I would advise against doing that in general. I am using my bureaucratic bullshit to just sort of keep this off the NYPD radar in case they care.
It's probably a good plan.
All right, I'll go in and top up on my magical bullshit ingredients and pick up a sawed off that will fit in my coat.
Okay. Do you want to build an advantage for, magic kit?
Yes. I will roll careful Mystic Arts.
Mm-hmm.
I can do this carefully.
Shay and a haircut, 2 bits. Thank you, Fadier. Now that's in my head. I've completely derailed and forgotten the whole adventure now.
14.
Okay. So, I mean, if you roll a 15 with a Demondus...
Alright, yeah, 1 demon dice.
You can...
It's had a decent chance of, Alright. Well, that's a 6, so now it's a 20.
Damn it.
Suck it.
Physics be damned. Foiled again! Alright, what do you call it? Do you just want to call the advantage, magic kit, or something more clever than what I can think of right now?
Let's call it loaded for bear, because I'm pulling shit out of the warehouse to do this.
Okay, so this will also include the shotgun, I'll say.
Yeah, shotgun, and if I happen to forget, if I wanted something later, I happen to have it because I was loaded for bear.
Do you spell that version of bear B-A or B-E? I can never remember.
B-E-A-R.
Okay.
It literally refers to loading heavier bullets if you're going bear hunting.
Ah, things New York
I
City
had no idea.
people don't necessarily know. Well, we're
Yeah,
also
yeah.
all nerds, so... And I'm a librarian by trade, I just collect trivia. Or, I mean, this isn't trivia. I just collect info. I don't know where it comes from. Thank you. This is why I like gaming on Zoom, because I can game with people from everywhere who know lots of things I don't. Also, y'all can share these aspect dice with each other, but, you know, ask first before using someone else's shit. Not saying you'll need it. Okay. RT.
I will
Death
pick
Knight.
up some tech bits before I head out to augment my regular kit.
Okay, tech bits?
Yeah,
Okay. Do you also want to build an advantage?
I do. 13.
Okay. Like I said, I mean, that's one dice, but if you roll a Demondus, you can
I think
maybe
one
get
die is enough.
Okay. So fun fact, you don't have to use all 3 demon dice to start. You are limited to 3. And don't roll a 1. I highly recommend not rolling a 1. Or do I? Should you roll? Roll 1s. They're fine. Just tell me.
Backpack full of tech. Let's call it.
Okay. Did you roll your Demondus?
Oh, I did.
Or did you
said
tell me?
that was still one die? Was it? Did I need a 10 or did I need a 15?
You need a 10 will
Need a-
get you one free invoke on it. If you
Right,
get a
that's fine.
15, you get 2. Okay.
I know that's fine. I don't want to risk rolling a 1 on a demon die and getting neither.
Oh, for any noobs, the warehouse is something that all Brotherhood agents have access to. In some pocket dimension, there is a giant warehouse full of mundane stuff. And if you can find a door to it, demon hunters can basically load up on whatever they need. So long as it's mundane. Sometimes it's where they can keep magical artifacts, but those aren't really generally accessible to agents. But if you need mortal weapons, mundane items you can use for magic, etc. So. And again, the warehouse doors don't work so good in this town. Which is why they made sure to get a place where they could hook up to the warehouse directly at their HQ.
Also, if you had rolled a 1 on demon dice, you would have still gotten the thing, and you would still,
Yep.
It would just something bad would have happened possibly later as a consequence.
Oh yeah,
Like-
no, I wouldn't have gotten an extra die because it would have been a 14.
Yes,
Well, yeah,
that
that's
too.
true. If Ratchet had rolled a 1, they would have still gotten a 15 and gotten 2 free invokes. But reverse evil eye Twitch magic means that they rolled a 6 instead. And maxed out dice.
Fortunately, dice do not explode in demon hunters.
Fadier, I have not seen enough Soul Eater to know what that means, so... I'm not saying don't do
I'll
it.
explain later. It's worth
Okay.
knowing.
Okay. Anyway, so...
I'm missing some messages.
You are... Well, I'm watching chat, so...
Yeah, no.
Because I'm
Mine
on...
goes directly from Shay and a haircut to Josh saying sure. So I'm like, I don't know. Twitch is being done for me.
Twitch is being glitchy. Alright. So... From here, do y'all just go to the office location?
Sure.
I would like to stop at the NYU registrars first, because presumably if this guy was a PhD student, he'd have to have his thesis on file.
Well, he's a PhD student. His thesis isn't necessarily finished.
Right. But he has to have registered at least what it is. It's not that he's finished it, it's that he's got a topic that he's registered for.
Okay. The registrar's office is on... Oh, it's not on 4th and Mercer, but it's close to that. It's basically on West 4th Street. Not directly off the park, but you're only about a block away, and
in that case, we shall go forth and conquer. No, okay.
I love puns, but I might have missed it because my brain is not working today.
It's on 4th Street. Go forth and conquer.
Oh.
The reactions made it worth it.
We should go up 4 blocks because I'm feeling a little tense now.
Anywho, all right. So y'all just get on the subway and go to the village, or what's left of the village. Yeah, immediately you get off the 8th and Broadway stop, and like just getting off the subway, you feel like this place feels a lot more evil than the last time I was here. Maybe, well, if you're Ratchet, the last time you were here. The other two of you, even if you don't have a very good Mystic Arts score, it's just like this place feels pretty awful.
So this is worse.
Hell energy
even
always
for
gives me
post,
gas.
2008. Washington Square area.
Yeah.
Okay.
The raid, so like the R&D people call it like interdimensional radiation or infernal radiation. Mystic Arts are just saying like, oh god, it's evil. It's so evil here.
I don't like it here.
It is not a very likable place anymore. Hold on.
Infernal energies give me gas.
More or less. And let me...
Can't say I identify with that problem.
Yeah.
You have
Yuck it up, soul person.
Some of you were at a certain incident that happened at Cooper Square, and you could sense it a little bit, but the closer you had, because you now have to head west to get to the registrar's office towards the park, and setting aspect, evil vibes intensify.
This is not a buried evil dragon. We are not going to start digging in the street once.
This is all of the forces of hell! Waving hello! This is an infernal place! We must cleanse it! Says the imaginary friend voice.
I mean,
This is par for the course as a demon hunter.
Shay,
I mean,
I'd
your
say...
buddy's not wrong, but
I don't know about Ratchet, but Shay, being a ghost, you can kind of hear this now. You couldn't hear
I
it?
imagine that.
Yeah.
I recall having an argument with this other ghost once because Artie decided to compare me to Merlin, and I took offense to that.
Yes, that happened.
Yeah.
We must make a great oath to cleanse this land of this evil, and it's just like, yeah, he's gone full like pontification, loud noise, and you're a little distracted.
All right, everybody, gather up on a stupid bicycle. I would like to.
Oh, that's right. One part.
Yeah.
The downside of this aspect is now every roll you make going forward requires the use of 1 demon dice.
Right.
And
I would
this
like
was-
to create an advantage.
If you're creating it here, you need to
yes.
spend a demon dice. Autos.
I will.
Yep.
I will create the advantage sanctified space. I'm gonna set up a cleansing tag essentially around us to keep the vibes away.
Okay. So like one that moves with you.
Yes, I'm basically, like the paper seals from Shinto.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna create some of those.
Locus,
Just
or are you setting up for smaller like amulets for each of us or something?
basically, yeah,
Depends on
They're
how
gonna be-
high they roll.
yeah, tokens to carry around that would.
This will not negate the aspect, and you will still need to use demon dice, but it maybe would not hurt to have extra faith dice also.
All right, I'm gonna do this cleverly with some mystic arts. and I'll have to use the demon dice. I think I'll use one of my faith dice to tap my disciplined disciple of Mariaman, because I'm kind of appealing to the a slightly more blessed source of power here to try and keep this from harshing my vibe. I guess would be the best way to say that. Sound of 4 dice. Okay, so 6 and 7 is 13, and 4 is 17, and 3 is 20.
Woohoo! And what are you calling this again?
Talismans of Hell No.
Okay, so that's 3. So yeah, so that's 3 faith dice, and you made 3. That all works out in my brain. Woohoo!
So now we each have a talisman. I mean, Artie and I each have a talisman of Hell No, and Shay has one if they can grab it somehow.
It's hanging on the bike.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah, you are possessing the bike. So yeah, one of either Artie or Ratchet. Shay, are you rolling the bike yourself, or are you still having Artie or Ratchet kind of hold
a hand on it, essentially?
I think I'm gonna have Artie or Ratchet have a hand on it, because it's not time to draw attention yet.
Yep.
We don't need a self-rolling bike rolling around a college campus. That's a bad plan.
Right.
Okay.
I will keep a hand on the bike. Do you want me to ride the bike to make it easier and let you go faster, or
It's up to you.
I'm not riding on it.
I'm not getting on that thing.
It would look normal if you're walking the bike next to somebody else. Like, if only one person in a duo has a bike, then it's pretty standard for that person to be walking the bike, so the other person doesn't get left behind.
Makes sense. And also, people get a little upset when you ride bikes on the sidewalk.
Okay, so you're going to the registrar's office. Whoever's bringing the bike, they ask you, I'm sorry, you can't bring a bike in here. You can wait out in the lobby with it. Or you can lock it up at, well, there's a place where NYU students and employees can lock up their bikes 2 blocks over that way. Says the security dude.
Can I get just leave it locked to the
Post outside?
To the sign?
I mean, I'd advise against that, because then someone's gonna pick it up. Says the security guard. She's like, I mean, we can't stop you, but we're also not responsible for whatever happens to your property on the public sidewalk.
Oh, that's understandable.
Yes, the Frag and Wagon 11 is a full to fit. It's a bike. It is a bicycle.
I mean, there are bikes that do fold, but no, not one of those. For one thing, they tend to be smaller and kind of rickety.
Anyway, so do you just tie it up to a pole outside?
I'll put a chain on it, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if so, I take it the basket is just sort of like a room of requirement kind of. You need a thing. There's a bike lock in there.
Yeah.
I mean, presumably it comes with the wagon, because it's a bicycle. You're gonna have to tie it up at some point.
Makes sense. So yeah, there's.
It's just tied around the body or something.
Mm-hmm.
We will come back for you.
Ring, ring.
Yes.
I mean, presumably if you're still possessing it, you just, lurk around it and just wait for somebody to try something.
Yeah. I won't say.
But I want to come with you guys,
yeah,
so.
I'll say you built an advantage. You don't have to stay with the bike unless you want to. You can detach for a moment. You have created the magical, potential thingamajig. So.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so yes, you go into the registrar's office. And the security guard is, just nods. Because there are people who come in here who aren't NYU people yet. And we're just going to say COVID isn't happening, so he doesn't ask for a Vax card. So yes, this is like Bursar and Registrar and a couple other things, so there's a Registrar line.
Alright. Well, I guess we just join the Registrar line because they're probably the ones who know things about thesis students.
Okay, you get on that line. And you get to the window. And a lady says, how can I help you?
Hi, I was thinking of joining up for a master's, and I was hoping to get a list of current theses done by other students so I don't accidentally double up. I think that's kind of frowned upon in not financial. What's the fucking word?
Academia?
Academic institutions.
You know, I have no idea whether any of this is legal. So I'm just gonna say whatever, it's NYU. Oh, sure.
I mean,
what
these are so. I mean,
which department were you looking at again?
Biology.
Okay, NYU Department of Biology, and she just prints you a list. It's like, why not?
Much appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
I'll consult with the money people before I come back. Right. And we'll walk out with the list. So looking down the list is Mr. Gonzalez, Noel Gonzalez.
Yes.
Cool. Got it right the first time. Is his name on the list?
So it looks like, so he's in the bio department. It looks like
Right.
his specialties are evolution and ecology. Specifically, his thesis is on the evolution of the American alligator.
He's trying to bring back dinosaurs.
Well, you've only got a
Really?
title, so
No, that's what Artie's saying.
I mean, MUAHAHA is interested in this guy for a reason, so that stands to be logical in the Wacky Lands context. So,
Alligators. Aren't they already dinosaurs?
and it says, oh no, it wouldn't say where he's from. So, okay, yeah. So that's you know, he's apparently studying the United States alligator.
Technically, I think they're lizards. Birds are dinosaurs, but never mind that.
Well, they're reptiles. Although there is, you know, other evolution bio people are trying to establish the link more firmly between birds and reptiles. And dinosaurs.
Out of character. Sarcosuchus, Nundazuchus, and a few other suchuses were absolutely ancient alligators that ran like horses. It's super weird to see the animations, but
That's
They were-
unsettling.
they were long-legged crocodiles that could run up to 40 miles an hour. So
That's very unsettling.
Like I said,
Well, yeah.
all you get is a title. But
Yes.
yes, all of these
Reggie doesn't
things
know that,
come-
but, you know.
Yep.
sorry, I thought it was just like, fun fact. There were actually, you know, alligator and crocodile analogs back in the day.
Woohoo.
They were, of course, much larger because, you know, but
Can I help you with anything else?
oh, I thought we already walked out
Oh,
with
okay.
a
Then yeah,
with a
if you just walk, she before you she
no,
can
no,
ask,
we're
you
like,
just
you know,
walk away.
we'll be back once we get the financials, you know, set up for this, and
Okay.
you know.
Sounds good. Next. And yeah, so y'all walk out. Your bike is still there. It's kind of a crappy bike. And it's broad daylight.
Yep.
So what next?
Well, I think we need to figure out where this person is.
I mean, we know where his office is. So he disappeared from there, I think.
Not a bad place to start checking out.
That's a logical place to start.
All right then. I guess we're going there next.
Okay. So yeah, this building is on Washington Square East. So it's sort of a block west to the edge of the park, and then I think up 2 blocks towards 8th.
Fortunately, the talismans of hell no are keeping us from being too nauseated, so.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you still have to keep rolling demon dice. Because this place is evil. Yeah.
Evil.
So, you get to the bio building, and there's another security guard sitting there. He's like, IDs? Or rather, who tries to go into the building? I think he can only see 2 of you, but one of you is a bicycle. He does not seem to have a problem with the bicycle. So, IDs?
Can I Jedi mind, you know, I guess aren't exactly psychic. I would it would be off the cuff magic, but
I could try off the cuff magic to Jedi mind trick him.
Or you could just possess him and buzz us in.
Okay. The difficulty...
but I can only try to possess people once per session.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, you can roll for Jedi Mind Trick with Mystic Arts. The difficulty will be 15.
Okay.
But you also get a free demon dice that you have to roll, so...
Right.
It evens out.
I'll do I think, quick Mystic Arts, because I'm just gonna try to, like, you know, mind trick this guy before he even realizes that something weird is going on. That's a 12. I will roll another demon die to make it up to that 15.
Yay!
I will make it up to that 15. Exactly.
Did you roll any demon dice ones?
No.
I was not counting. Okay. Then you're fine. I did warn the players in advance I was going to do a real dick move this game. This is it.
No, I will tell you if I roll a 1 on the demon dice, but I did not.
I mean, presumably your face will say it first.
Yeah.
This is that.
Okay. So, yeah, you, 15, Jedi Mind Trick. And he sort of says ID, and then Shay does something, and he just sort of stares into space. Alright, move along. Move along.
Alright.
Right,
So we move along
in?
with our bicycle.
He is in room 315, and it is easy enough to... you are not even the only people carrying a bicycle. Because, yeah, they're supposed to tie him up in the bike lot, but, like, people
That's
have
2 blocks
offices.
away, man.
Yeah, and people have offices, you know.
Or even just labs, you know, in the
Yeah.
back. Depending on what, you know, I mean, I guess this is the bio building. Probably don't want to bring contaminants in, but...
And yeah,
And
so...
it's a big
yeah.
campus. You need a bike to get around. I mean...
So yeah, room 315, the door is locked. Well, except for Shay.
Yeah.
Shay doesn't necessarily have to worry about the locked door.
Can you poltergeist the door open from the inside? Because I think it's one of those doors that just open from the inside.
Maybe, but it'll be noticeable.
For Shay to just go through the door is free, but for them to unlock the door with whoosh or poltergeistness, that will require a roll, which will require a demon dice.
All right.
Because I am evil GM today. But you are also in one of the most evil places on the planet. I.e. what's left of the Washington Square Park zone.
Are there any other offices nearby?
Yeah, there are a couple. Evens, someone call evens or odds.
Evens.
Okay. It is a weekday, not a weekend, so there are people in their offices doing office stuff.
All right. All right. So, diet person can go through the door, take a look around. You and I will go and talk to the other people.
Not go through the door? Yeah, okay. Sure. Sounds good.
Excuse me, person light.
Person light.
A diet human. Wow. Wow. It's not racist. I don't know what to call that.
It's not wrong, though.
Fun-sized human.
And now begins
Fun
the
No,
size.
it's the regular
committee
size. It's just, they're missing a simple something that makes them, I don't know, tasty.
the Committee for the Protection of Undead Rights. Anyway. So yeah, we will go with Shay first, so Shay, you're just gonna go through the door?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, you go through the door, because you a ghost.
Yep.
And the lights are out, but it's, midday, so you can still see around. There is a computer that seems to be in sleep mode. What did I write? Blah, blah, blah. One thing you notice without me making you roll is that he does have a collection of, little toy and figurine alligators. Not in a creepy magic way, but just in kind of a cute, this is the thing I like way. Other people would just have, action figures or anime characters. This guy has cute little alligators, rubber,
good quality slice,
plastic,
too.
crystal.
There's no way I can go crazy in this office and, destroy things and throw things around. The alligators are too adorable.
They're really cute. There's a poster for, a conservation group that specifically works with the U.S. alligator in Mississippi. It's just sort of nice, cute office. There's not a ton of other personal stuff, just, dude has collection of dinosaur figures on a shelf. And they're really cute.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Thinking about that.
My laugh is an evil laugh.
No dinosaurs, just alligators.
Oh, you said there was a shelf. You said there was a shelf of dinosaurs.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I meant alligators.
Oh, okay.
But dude has a shelf full of alligator figurines, the way other people might have dino figures, but his are just strictly alligators only.
This is very endearing. Is there anything, sitting out on the desktop?
Well, the computer is in sleep mode.
Okay.
So, now going through things is free, but poltergeist nonsense,
Yeah.
requires a roll.
Yeah. I am incorporeal. That is my trouble. I can...
you know what they say about objects and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
Yeah, no, that's literally one of my stunts. But it's about possessing people.
Right. Talking about you were possessing the bike earlier, so you can.
So unfortunately, you were at impasse. Either you get the flesh bags in here by making a roll for someone to open the door, or you roll to type on the computer.
Or possess the computer.
Or possess the computer.
I think rolls are going to have to happen.
Yeah, rolls are going to happen. I'm gonna roll to try to wake this computer up.
Okay. And you're gonna do that by just possessing it? Or just ghosting and machining it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll allow that to be a Mystic Arts roll.
Okay. Can it also be a clever roll? Because I have to know how to wake up the computer to make it work. I need to throw a demon die with this.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 13. No one's on the demon die.
Okay. That works. Okay. So fun fact, the first thing you notice while you're inside this computer is that it's not necessarily low tech, but this dumbass didn't password protect his desktop.
University?
So
what's really fool.
What's really funny is if the flashbacks had come in, they wouldn't have had to roll at all to get any of this information.
Yeah. But we still would have had to roll something to get the door open, so
yeah.
It seems more efficient for me to just take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
This way attracts his attention from everybody else.
Yeah.
So you easily find notes, logs, charts, research. So it looks like his official thesis is on the U.S. reptile, and you easily find out he did his undergrad at University of Mississippi in bio and worked with the conservation group that's on the poster. So apparently a few months ago he started some research on sewer gators as kind of a joke. But in his intention, you can tell from just his notes that he writes in his computer, that he's basically trying to disprove they exist, but he's also at the same time, examining the city sewers from an ecosystem perspective, which is interesting. But then, you're continuing to read through his notes, and he actually started finding evidence of sewer gators, which I believe Shay has also seen firsthand.
Oh, yeah.
He did not see anything as big as that. He's claims to have seen at least one for sure that was 3 foot long and was watching him, and it's just scurried away way faster than he would have expected, even an alley. But yeah, actually no, he's gators can move really fast when they want to, and that was pretty what the fuck. And yeah, from I don't remember what the scientific term for excrement is, but feces. Oh, that's true. So from that, he was able to sequence DNA that does relate it to the American alligator. And he's so he went into this thinking, lol, joke research that could turn into actually interesting stuff. But yeah, joke research. There's no alligators in the sewer. That's ridiculous. Oh, fuck.
Fuck. And now he's, leading researcher on this thing.
Yeah, and he suspects, based on how many he's very sure he's seen them. Which if you weren't a demon hunter, you would be suspect of, but it could go either way.
Yeah.
And again, he did sequence DNA from feces from fecal matter that is similar to that of the U.S. alligator.
And well, I've personally seen shit down there, so I know he's not lying.
He does mention in his notes that he's smart enough to not tell his NYU colleagues about this because he'd get laughed out of academia.
Can I email all of his notes to Cypherbike?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, he does mention that he's made friends with someone in the building called Alf, and has been buying him coffee and just, hanging out with him, and he told Gonzalez about an entrance to the sewers in the basement of this building, which is presumably what he's been used, and then he used that to actually get into the sewers, kind of against the rules, but it's joke research anyway. It does look like he's also put in requests with the MTAs, can I tag along with maintenance crews and stuff. So he's been trying to
It isn't illegal. They don't catch you at it.
That too. But he's hey, it's the village. As long as it's not raining or hurricaning outside, how dangerous could it be to just go into the sewers below this building?
The answer is
you'd be surprised.
Especially since Shay has actually seen with their eyes what's living in the sewers around here.
Right. But side note, even if there wasn't anything living in the sewers are inherently dangerous because they can have pockets of gas and shit and like clogs. It's a mess down there. So don't go don't go down unprepared and don't go down just for a lark, you know.
Also, Ratchet would know that because of the water table in New York City, flooding is rampant, which is especially why, well, technically that's why there's a Hellmouth here. It's the mouth of a Hell River, which is now Minetta Place, or Minetta Drive, because Minetta Drive used to be the Minetta River, which is also called the Hell River. New York City folklore. Anyway.
Before I leave this computer, can I set a login password for Shay was here?
Yes, you can.
Yes!
Is Minetta now an underground river?
Folklorically, yes. Actually, I'm not sure, but this is Demon Hunter, so let's go with the folklore. Anything else? So yeah, someone named Alf told him there's an entrance to the sewer in the basement.
Alf, A-L-F?
That's how it's spelled.
Okay.
So
I don't remember what series that character was from, but I'm remembering the brown and fuzzy thing.
So you could make a roll with you or the Cypher could make a roll about the research collected so far to notice things, but that would require a roll. But since you did send to the cell phone Cypher, who wait, Ratchet's not carrying a cell. So Artie, the Cypher's like, do you want me to forward it to Artie too? Because I'm a bicycle.
Yeah,
would you like me to forward this to Artie? Because I am a bicycle, and none of you decided to use the headphone jack.
Oh, sorry.
I am not bitter about that.
As long as I'm hanging out, as long as I'm carrying the bicycle.
Okay. So yeah, you get a ring ring from the bicycle and then a text to your phone. And it basically includes all this information.
He just already put in the
already put in the hello,
yeah.
I am the Fraggin' Wagon 11.0. I am far more maneuverable for urban landscapes. Unfortunately, I cannot move under my own power. And it's been like all this kind of top 40 DJ sounding voice this whole time you've been listening to it. Hello, I am the
So Artie in one here has the top 40 DJ sound, you know, and now you're tying me to a sign because, you know, you can't take me inside the building. And the other he's got, there's a Hellmouth here. Yeah, need to smite the unworthy.
The other voice is like, you have procured the noble steed. Now we shall take over this neighborhood. And it's just like, oh my God, shut up.
No, we're not.
Ride forth. Great night.
I have just Shay found a lot of interesting information on a not password locked computer, and I have forwarded it to your email.
Fantastic. I will take a look at it. I pull out my laptop from my backpack and hook up to the Wi-Fi.
Meanwhile, there's okay. So while you were doing that, there are also other people in these offices.
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to some people.
Okay, well, you and Artie, I assume, or Artie's trying
to tag along, but yeah. I'm staying a little bit in the background.
Okay, you're letting
Ratchet. He's got a bicycle
point.
and doesn't fit through my.
Okay, yeah. So there's a lady in the next office, and she's just typing at her computer.
I knock.
Come in.
Hello. I was hoping to catch Mr. Gonzalez. But it doesn't seem to be in today.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're a little worried. Noel hasn't been in a couple days, and no one can find him. So our department had actually just put in a missing persons report. Have you seen him at all within the last 24 hours or 48 hours?
No, we had an appointment for today, though. I was supposed to come in to talk to him about one of my projects for my lab class.
I mean, the fact that Ratchet is at least middle-aged does not seem to faze this woman at all, because...
I mean, later middle-aged, but, like, everybody's going to school now.
Yeah. And NYU doesn't care who's enrolled so long as you can pay. And I'm sorry. I mean, if you can tell me what you're working on, I might be able to help you find someone else to talk to, but we don't know where he is. We're getting worried.
Well, he was supposed to tell me more about some of his work on. He had a thing about alligators, and I was working with reptiles, and what I'm learning on said that like they're some of the oldest ones, you know, been around for forever. So, do you know any? Do you happen to know anything about what he was working on? Maybe.
He was doing some kind of like. Okay, he started this out as like ignoble awards, like joke research, but he was his main focus is the U.S. alligator, because he's from Mississippi and just he works a lot in that field and that specialty for his undergrad. So once he got to New York, he decided to make a joke study of sewer gators, but he's approaching it from an interesting kind of like sewers as ecosystem perspective, like as a sideline of research. But that's not really I've been studying like genome research. That's not really my area, but you know, it was kind of a funny idea, and he's taking it a really interesting direction, so it's, you know, Ig Nobel awards. It'll be fun. It was just a sideline to his regular research, but yeah, if you're interested in reptiles, there's Davis, who's he's more of a paleontologist. So if that's something you'd like, he's not here today, but I can give you his email address and you can set up an appointment with him. Like, we all know that, well, none of us know where Noel is, so we're just trying to pick up his students and his appointments as needed until we can find it. We just hope he's okay.
Much appreciated. What was Davis? What was his full name?
Martin Davis.
Do you know if do you happen to know if Noel left any kind of I mean, presumably when somebody goes missing, they don't really make provisions for, you know, the people they leave behind. But I heard he was supposed to have some kind of friend kept meeting him for coffee or something.
Does Ratchet know that? Because Ratchet doesn't have a cell phone. Or did Artie just tell them?
Oh, so I was going to ask, does Artie know about the friend?
Yeah, that was all in the notes.
What's the friend's name again?
Alf.
Ask about Alf.
Artie says out loud.
Artie says out loud.
Probably before you got into the office. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't really been in his office because we filed a police report, and in case there is a line of evidence, we don't really want to tamper with it, so we're leaving his office locked. So we don't really know where he was going or anything.
Oh, he happened to mention his last email, a guy named Alf or something. I don't know. He was getting coffee with him.
Oh, that must be, yeah, Alf, his name is Alphonse. He's one of our he's basically the building super, so he's in building maintenance, and they're union. Lucky them, they get to be union. Yeah, they were friends, and you know, Alphonse has, you know, worked in various lines of work, subway maintenance, things like that have to do with the sewers. So, and you know, just, you know, nice guy.
Yeah, no, much appreciated. So Martin Davis at NYU.edu or something?
Martin.davis@nyu.edu.
All right. I'll email him all my questions. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Is Alf on shift today?
I mean, he's here every day, generally. Okay. So, yeah, he's somewhere. I mean, what would you want to talk to him about?
Just if he might know anything about where about where the professor went.
Oh, are you police?
No. I was just curious.
I mean, I think he knows full
well
that
walked start walking down the hallway to make it look like I'm not with him. So in case he does get fingered for the cop, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it's a tiny office. She's not really paying attention. Tiny office with a tiny doorway. I mean, I think if Alf knew anything, he would have told us, and the department head would have sent it to the cops. But I mean, his office is in the basement, but I don't know. Like, he's our super, so I don't really know what his maintenance schedule is. So he could be anywhere in the building, or he could be in his office. You know, he's nice. He's worried about Noel too.
Mind if I go down to the basement? I just want to ask him. You know.
I mean, I don't mind, but
I don't. What's he gonna do? Stop you?
Yeah, I'm not. I mean,
neither your mom nor building security. I mean.
I mean, Alf doesn't do research here at the moment, like, so I don't know what he'd. Yeah, I mean, yeah, his office is downstairs.
Great, thanks. I'll send an email.
I'm gonna be loitering by the elevators, which I assume there are at least a few.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I'll send an email back to the email that sent me all this data, assuming that that was forwarded in, saying heading down to the basement. Pretty sure he's down in the sewers.
Well, I mean, the bike, what you hear is, you start doing that, and, Fragenwagen's like, I heard all of that, and I can just forward this myself.
That would be fantastic.
Hi there, I'm Eddie, your shipboard computer. I'm pleased as pleasure to run any program you care to run through me.
I can actually hear all of you. And on several different planar wavelengths, I am just having trouble communicating because my design was not fully thought out before it was bought by Channel Points. Lol. There are some flaws with my new design.
Well, I brought some parts.
Ring, ring!
If you have some ideas, I could start working on it.
It would be really helpful if you could just put the cipher cell on my handlebars on speakerphone.
Currently, it's on phone.
Maybe downstairs.
Hello, I'm a bicycle. Pay no attention to me.
Don't mind me. I'm just rolling my way downtown.
Okay. So again, I have given you the data. Sorry, are you, Shay, at this point, do you come back out into the hallway?
Yep. I'll regroup with everybody once I've caused my shenanigans and gotten what I needed out of there.
So Ratchet is standing by the elevator doors, and Artie is currently walking down the hall, wincing every now and again as either one or the other gets very shrill.
Twitch.
Also, no, we can't conquer we won't conquer New York.
We will conquer it for kinder rulers than currently have jurisdiction.
I don't know. I'm with the knight here. Let's conquer New York, guys. After we find this guy first, of course.
We would create a citywide mandate that insists adjuncts are employees and thus entitled to unionize.
Okay, you have a point.
I am hip to the social justice of this era.
See, alcohol, headache, get over here, come on.
Got a ghost high five in the background somewhere.
Mr. Sibjak, this is the Fragenwagen. Should I disregard the other voice speaking in your vicinity?
Probably shouldn't. What do you mean by disregard? We're not going to try to conquer the city right now.
All right. That is what I wanted to know primarily, but in these cases, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Good plan.
Put a pin in the idea, table it, back burner, not off the table, just on the table, waiting for, being picked up off the table again.
Okay. So would anyone like to would like to make some kind of roll to analyze the data? Or you could have the cipher do it, but that still requires demon dice.
I'm sure it's not doing it.
I
Cipher's
will analyze the data, although I have my own guesses.
Well, what are your own guesses primarily?
My guess is that he went down into the sewer and didn't come back. Now, what happened to him down in the sewer is another question. So
yes,
research and development.
So you still need to roll.
I am. Research and development, clever, and a demon die.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a 15.
Okay, succeed with style. Succeed with style. I'm not as good at this as at that voice as Vansel. So succeed with style. Thank you, Paskris. You didn't give a succeed with style condition. Anyway, well, succeed. So you're looking through the notes, and like, yeah, some people do like side research if they're masochists. Like you're a tech nerd. The world of grad school is not new to you. Yeah. If you haven't done it, you know people who have. And so yeah, side hustle research isn't unheard of, but like, especially once he found out they're real, like, he started doing a lot more work than
an Ig Nobel Prize would warrant.
Yeah. Well, as far as I know, Ig Nobel research doesn't warrant grants. And this is New York. No one works for free here. This is a lot of work and resources for unfunded research. Like, you're not even sure if he would have access to some of the genetic sequencing tech he mentions using.
Right.
So there is a financial weirdness here. And as far as you can tell from everything Shay found on the computer, he doesn't have any kind of grants aside from what he's getting from NYU, which is not funding this research. It's only funding his main thesis research, which I think is how it works.
Right.
If they're even barely funding the thesis, because let's face it, it's NYU.
Does the Mad Scientist Union provide grants?
That is part of what they do as a union.
But he was just being considered. He wasn't proper in yet.
Possibly,
as
but
far
also
as we know.
Nothing that's pinging the database. Rather, I'll say your cipher already compared the data to your database and nothing has pinged. So if that's happening, then this is under the table and it might require further hacksaws.
Yep.
Which is definitely not impossible for this team.
Nope.
Even if the annoying, lawfully annoying paladin in your head is going, "Why do you muck about with this technological nonsense? There is evil to slay!" And I spit all over
Some
my
of that
camera.
evil is on the internets.
Then we shall slay the internet! Did I mention I love invisible friends and I remember to roleplay them?
Hey, thank you, Technor Mouse, for the faith die. We're gonna need it. And the demon die for the DM. I don't think we'll need it as much.
Okay.
Oh boy. It's gonna be exciting.
So, Artie.
Right, so we might want to look into this grant. In the meanwhile, I think we want to head down to the basement and talk to this friend.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because shadowy grants from unknown donors is exactly the kind of thing that we're perfect to look up.
Oh wait, you rolled an exceptional success. So if he's getting illicit funding, it may not be logged with the university at all. Yep. In which case you would have to hack his personal accounts. And or tax records, etc., etc. which I believe your character can do. Well, your character's a hacker, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll just say, you know, R&D magic. You can figure out how to do that. It will require a roll.
Yep. Sure. It's basically the same role.
Okay. You don't have to do it right now if you want to talk to the maintenance guy first.
Let's talk to the maintenance guy first.
Okay. But yeah, so this is the first big, like, plot hole you see in the situation. And yes, MUAHAHA was like, we want you to find this guy, but we can't tell you why. And it's like, harumph.
Hey, I wonder where that funding is coming from.
Sewer alligators in New York? It's more likely than you think.
Well, I mean, it's absolutely true if you ask Shay. I forget if Ratchet was there for that or if you were playing someone else.
I don't remember this at all, so I may not have been there straight
might
up.
have been there. That's right. It was Shay, Puka's character. Shay, Puka playing Fish Stick, and I forget who.
I think Mark was there.
Oh, was Mark there?
I don't think I was there because I don't remember the alligators. But
No, Mark Thomason.
Yeah.
Cooter Dixon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our group that day.
Okay. I don't know. It's on a VOD. I'll watch it later. Who were my players that day? I don't remember. My brain isn't on great right now. All right, so 5 minutes till break. So yeah, you get down to the basement level with no incidents. There's a dude working. There's a dude kind of going through paperwork. There's like an ancient computer, but he's doing paperwork just at a desk, and there's, you know, tools everywhere and maintenance cabinets, and it's kind of dark. There's no windows. And the door is not even closed, it's just open.
I'll knock anyway.
Oh, hey, what can I do for you?
Do you know?
Hello. We're looking for a guy named Alf.
Yeah, this is me. What's up?
You know a guy named Noel?
Oh yeah, are you cops? Do you need to get into his office?
No.
No, we were asked to look into his disappearance by some friends of his.
Oh, which friends? I don't know that he knows that many people outside of university.
I mean, there's friends and then there's friends who fund your research, if you know what I mean.
I was wondering about that, cause like, yeah, he was getting really into that side research a lot. I don't know. Well, I mean, oh, is there like shady stuff going on?
I mean, it's not shady as far as I'm aware. Just, they were funding him, and then he disappeared. And now they're worried about him. So they asked us to come.
Can I start looking around this guy's office and just see if there's anything interesting while he's distracted?
Yeah, I won't make you roll. It's pretty straightforward here. There's nothing, well, I mean, the whole neighborhood is evil, so you kind of, like, your mage senses, such as they are as a ghost, are kind of borked. But, there are no bloody axes.
No notes that are, you know, conspicuously and hastily hidden on the desktop.
Nah, the computer isn't even on. Like,
You
he's
want to be a dick, you just move.
No, I meant the literal top of his desk, sorry.
Oh, no, just boring paperwork, pens.
I mean, if you want to be a poltergeist dick, you can just start, you know, moving things like push this wrench a couple inches to the left, move his coffee cup to on top of one of the filing cabinets, you know, your regular poltergeisty bullshit. Just to fuck with them.
Nah.
Like, so, yeah, so as Shay is shuffling around as a ghost, being completely inconspicuous because they're incorporeal. Convenient.
Alphabetize his tools.
There you go.
You're not sure what some of these tools are called, actually, unless you want to roll for it.
No.
It makes it more entertaining.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah,
Alphabetize them by what you call them. No.
So Alf, and it says like there's a name tag on his desk and on his uniform. It's just Alphonse. It's like, yeah. So like, if you're cops, like I'll work with you, no problem. But I have to like see your badges, like, unless NYU security tells me to work with you, or you tell me who you're working for, I don't want to lose my union job. And NYU's got some strict stuff on security.
All
Like,
right,
I want to find, I want Noel to be okay. But, like...
We're with the Brotherhood of the Celestial Torch. And I'll show...
The fuck is that?
I'll pull out my little Brotherhood symbol on a badge.
Yeah, this sounds like bullshit to me, unless you want to roll for it.
Oh yeah, I'll roll for it.
Which means you spend a demon dice.
Oh yeah. I'm,
but I will say that, you're trying to bullshit a native New Yorker, or not even bullshit, just, like, the difficulty will be a 15.
Okay, I am doing it forcefully, I guess, because I'm shoving the badge at him. But because it's the Brotherhood, I would argue...
So if you're intimidating him, I will let you use forceful.
Okay, in that case, I'll just do it carefully.
Okay.
Or possibly cleverly.
I dare
cleverly?
say,
I don't know how clever being honest is.
Actually, it feels really forceful to me, but it's
but
GM's
it's
call.
like
It's the opposite of clever.
you're flashing a badge of an organization he's never heard of. Okay, hold up.
If this doesn't work, I have a backup plan to build off of it.
I would if you're intimidating him, I'd say it would be forceful. I dare say if you're trying to like Buffy reveals she's a vampire slayer, I would allow flashy.
No.
But like you've got to make a big deal about this and convince this guy that it's legit, and you do real work and need his help. Like you're basically reveal it all to the mundane guy.
I'll do it carefully.
It's careful would be not telling him you're a Brotherhood agent.
Okay.
And not telling him that the Shadow World exists.
I'll do it cleverly then.
That's also not clever. I'm sorry, hun. Like, the Brotherhood doesn't have clear rules against telling mundanes, but, like, telling this guy...
I'm gonna try and fast talk him. Let's do it quickly. Fuck it.
Okay, I'll allow that. But the difficulty is still a 15.
Yeah,
Luckily, you have to spend a demon dice.
Yeah. And trying to do this tactically. And
no, this would be social engineering.
Okay, fine. That still means I just do need. That means I don't actually need more d6. Okay. Combat and tactics, social engineering, a demon die. Actually, I do need more d6s. I'm also going to use my grumpy old man. I don't have time for his bullshit. This is, we're here legitimately, even if he doesn't know it. Okay.
Legitimately, if not lawfully.
Yes, legitimately. Didn't say lawfully. Excuse me while I move everything out of the splash zone.
You're good, not lawful.
Yeah. Alrighty, here we go.
Who's law?
So, it's a 6 on the demon dice, but a 1 on the faith dice.
Well, at least you get to keep the faith dice.
Keep the faith dice.
So,
yep.
What is the total of 15?
5, 11, 14. I need to roll 1 more demon die. And that's a 4.
Okay.
For an 18.
So, you know what? Before we break, I want you to spiel at this guy fast. I want the crotchety old man to fast talk, roleplay the fast talk.
Okay.
That completely doesn't completely, but manages to convince a cranky middle-aged man working in one of the most subtly evil neighborhoods in the country. So, fast talk me.
So, You asked what who we work for. Well, that's who we work for. Just because it's not anybody you've heard of doesn't mean it's necessarily, religion. No.
Religion.
Just because it's not something you've heard of doesn't mean it's not a legitimate organization. Additionally, it's not necessarily that, just because you've never heard of it doesn't mean we're not legitimate, but also that we're working to do investigations. Like, you heard of the Masons? Yeah, probably. I mean, the Freemasons, But it's not necessary. It's not that we're, the name doesn't necessarily correlate to what we do exactly. So just because we're named the Brotherhood of the Celestial Torch and it sounds kind of dumb, doesn't necessarily mean that we're not on the up and up. And also, we are here on behest of somebody who was worried about him and who was funding him. We're trying to get a return on investment, and we're just trying to help. We're not gonna get you in trouble with the union. We're not gonna get you in trouble with building management. In fact, if we've done it right, nobody will know we were here.
It's not where we're gonna ask you to let us into the sewers like anybody else. I mean,
he's like, he looks kind of askance. Okay, if this is just between you and me, because I want to know that Noel's okay. But, yeah, so there is an entrance to the sewers in here, but I didn't think he'd be stupid enough to go down there, alone. I just mentioned it, because I thought he was going through, the MTA and shit to, find some way of finding, some legitimate way to go down there and, tail somebody, shadow somebody. But, he wouldn't have been stupid enough to go down there. I don't think so.
Wait, to tail somebody?
Well, yeah, go along with an MTA maintenance crew.
Shadow someone. Not necessarily tail them.
Yeah, tail was the wrong word. I meant smart. Shadow.
Take your PhD student to work day.
Yeah, more or less. But yeah, I hope he wasn't that stupid. But also, I'm not stupid enough to go down into the sewers by myself. But, when eventually the cops are gonna come and ask, I guess I should tell them about that. I just really hope he wasn't that stupid, because there are no alligators in the sewers, but it's it's not a safe place to be. This isn't one of those cities with a proper underground city where it's all clean and stuff. It's that place is a mess.
Place floods every third Thursday, it seems like.
Yeah, basically, especially nowadays with the global warming, and it's and
every time there's a hurricane, it gets fucked up even worse.
Yep, and construction and old wiring and all sorts of stuff down there, but not alligators. So his research sounded really cool, and he had a good sense of humor about the gator thing, but it's that's not really what he was studying. But yeah, that's all I got. I'm not security, so I don't keep track of everyone in the building.
When was the last time you saw him?
Yeah, 2 or 3 days ago. We just had coffee, on his break. It was about lunchtime, and I was up in the. It's not exactly a lunchroom, but it's more or less a lunchroom. An open classroom that no one usually uses at lunchtime, so we just hang out.
Quick question: was that before or after the last time he updated his data? Assuming the clock on his computer is right.
Well, according to your data, he definitely had been in the sewers a few times and was definitely going back out before he disappeared. But that would have been before his disappearance. So
no, Josh was asking if the lunch date with Alf were there any file entries after that, or was that the entry stopped before then?
Okay, so he didn't show up for work 2 days ago. So we'll say he said 3 days ago at lunch. So yeah, that he doesn't specifically mention having lunch or learning anything significant there, but it looked like by the end of the 9 to 5 day, he was planning to go back into the sewers.
Okay, so there are some entries after that, but Alf was probably the last person to actually see him.
Maybe he
Noel's... To interact with him?
Yeah, Noel is, the research on his computer isn't Noel saying, and then I talked to this person about things completely unrelated to my research.
No.
But yeah, but it fits the timeline of, yeah, he hung out with people at lunch on Monday and then didn't show up for work on Tuesday. And it sounded like Monday night he was probably planning to do another field excursion.
All right. And I believe timer rang for break, so
yeah, that's
probably a decent place to stop it.
So we're gonna pause on the action chat, and we're gonna take a 10-minute break. So hang out, get a soda, buy stuff with channel points. You can buy demon dice that help me, or faith dice that help the players, aspects that are weird fate stuff, and custom NPCs that are just annoying. Annoying for everyone, but in the most fun way possible, which is why we have a cipher bike. So, yeah, chat, and we'll see you in 10 minutes. Woohoo! And we're back! And I am a cipher bike thingamajig based on the Fraggin' Wagon. Also, we are playing Demon Hunters. And, if you don't remember from 10 minutes ago, don't worry, I'm in just about the same boat, and if I hadn't been writing this down, I wouldn't remember either. And I am the GM. Yay. Neurodivergent pride.
Sometimes it be like that.
It's been, as I was just telling my players, for reasons I won't disclose on the public channel, it's gonna be that way this whole semester for me. Spoony life. Anyway, when last we left our heroes, because it's Brotherhood, so they are heroes. This isn't the world of darkness. There are heroes here.
We're allowed to be good guys today.
They were,
and we don't have to roll the morality table because we're good guys and everything we do is right.
No morality table, but I am actively forcing you to roll more demon dice because proximity to evil, pre-established plot of 5 years and running. Sorry. Still sorry about that. I have mixed feelings about being the dick GM. But yes, our heroes were tracking down a missing NYU PhD student who had attracted the attention of MUAHAHA, the Mad Science Union, for reasons they could not disclose because union rules. But because the Brotherhood and the Mad Science Union have an interesting relationship in New York, Brotherhood was like, okay, that plus proximity to the Hellmouth in Washington Square Park means we should probably look into this. So far, our heroes have uncovered that he had a joke side research project, whereas his main thesis was about the U.S. alligator, because he's from Mississippi and has been studying them his whole life. Probably. Started a joke research project in sewer gators, which one of our demon hunters knows are actually real, so whoops.
They are real, and I will die on this hill if I could actually still die.
Shay is currently a ghost. They may or may not be alive, maybe somewhere. We don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe in a future game. Have a funny idea. We'll talk about that. Anyway, so yes, Artie. So they went talk to his friend in maintenance, who disclosed that he did tell his friend about an entrance to the sewers in the basement of this NYU building. But he couldn't possibly have been dumb enough to go down there. He's an NYU PhD student. I'm not bitter. So yeah. So gossiping, talking crocodile. Thank you for the NPC drop, Arcane the Sage.
I'm very intrigued to see where that goes.
I just have sudden visions of the crocodile from All Dogs Go to Heaven. Have you ever seen that movie?
I haven't seen it in such a long time. I forgot there was a crocodile in it.
Oh God, it's the one that sings "Let's Make Music Together."
I don't remember any. Oh, damn it, ADHD brain! I want to remember that movie. Well, I can't remember nice things like All Dogs Go to Heaven. Gossiping, talking crocodile, which is interesting because at least according to this guy's research, they're alligators, not crocodiles. So this could get weird. Weirder.
I
There's
mean,
also-
technically, the thing I saw wasn't like strictly an alligator itself. It was some sort of mutated magical thing. So
Well, according to the notes that y'all took off his computer because ghost friend, he himself, like, he only definitely saw one once, but he suspect he's almost seen things down there, and he's suspecting that they might be of higher intelligence than the average American alligator due to a pollution mutation.
I'm like beings. I see through things.
At least that's what he thinks is happening. But within all of that research that you uncovered, Artie noticed a great big financial plot hole, which is he's doing a lot of work with a lot of sophisticated equipment for this side hustle joke research for the Ignoble Awards. NYU isn't that generous.
So, according to what he gave, the information he gave to our sources, he was planning on going to into the sewers that night.
Well, what he said in his notes, that's not what he told. As far as his
I'm
friend-
lying.
Oh, are you still talking to the maintenance guy?
Uh-huh.
Say that again? Sorry. Prompt me again. Line. Feed me the line again.
According to what he sent to our sources, he was planning on going into the sewers that night, actually.
I don't know with who. Last I checked with him, he just finally started talking to the MTA people. Because they are, like, trying to do, like, environmental initiative stuff, but it's like, it's always a lot of paperwork and bureaucracy, and, I mean, it's a dangerous place, so, like, forms gotta be filled out, and waivers and insurance and stuff.
Yeah, I hate to say it, he might have been using your entrance.
Oh, well, I mean, I'll tell that to the cops when they... Well, now I kind of have to tell it to the cops, but, like, I hope it wasn't that stupid.
I mean,
it's not a safe place.
Presumably, if your entrance hasn't been used in a while, it wouldn't be, it'd be obvious if it had been used recently. Make me,
Yeah,
like when you don't move a door for years or whatever, and the grime accumulates on it. You notice when that gets disturbed.
Yeah, like I'm not even sure. I've never even opened that thing, so I don't know if it can be opened. But
Can you show it to us? I promise we're not gonna, violate your job or anything like that. We just want to see it, see if anybody's been in there recently.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. I mean, it's basically you go down to the second basement level, and it's like right across the room from the boiler. So I don't.
Can I just
I'm not
drop
really-
through the floor and look around for a moment?
Yes, you can. Like I'm not. I've been working here a long time, but that's like an old like iron door, and I don't know CSI stuff, so I'm not sure I'd know what to look for. But if y'all are like, I guess some kind of private detectives or.
We do private investigations.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, don't go through it. Like, don't go through it. But, yeah, look at it. It's fine. I mean, try not to touch it up too much in case the cops want to dust for fingerprints. But...
Wasn't planning on laying a finger on it.
Okay. Yeah, so...
Oh, yeah, no.
And it gives you easy-to-follow directions.
So we followed them.
And Shay just falls to the floor. Because
I fall through the floor, look around, come back. As the group is leaving, I'm gonna whisper to him, there are totally alligators in the sewers.
Shay sounds nothing like either Artie or Ratchet. No, just no.
Nope.
Well, I mean, they're also whispering, so...
Yeah. Just a little whisper in his ear, freak him out a little bit, and then meet the party downstairs.
Yep. Actually, you go on ahead a little bit. I say once we're out of sight of our helpful maintenance person, while we still have fewer things between us and the local internet connection, I want to check out some stuff.
Okay.
I mean, the servers are probably in the basement, honestly.
That's true.
Because that's where they always stick fucking IT.
Would each building have servers? I forget.
You'd have each building would have a router. I mean, they wouldn't have. You're right that they would not have bank servers in each building, and the main thing would probably be in like the library or whatever.
Yeah.
But it would have a routing hardpoint in the basement in the IT room essentially.
Okay.
So it would have a an IT room with its cooling systems and subflooring and all this good stuff that would run for the rest of the building.
I'll say that's probably somewhere down here in one of the 2 basement levels. Yeah. Although the actual IT department for this building is a floor with windows.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
And Vista.
And apple a day keeps the apple a day keeps the windows away.
Yep. Actually, are they a Linux machine? There are Linux machines in a building I know, but I haven't actually been in this building. Anyway, make believe land. But yeah, the main server banks are in the NYU library. Yeah, which is on West 4th Street, overlooking the evil park.
Oh, that library, yes.
The big red cube. Anyway, so yeah, there is an IT room down here, but that is also locked. But I mean, it's a wireless system, and there's a guest password. That is guest, because all the hacking stuff you have to do is not here.
Yeah, I'm not hacking NYU. I'm hacking somebody else.
So yeah,
using the NYU network to mask yourself. Very nice. They're going to get on the engineering students again.
NYU doesn't have an engineering school as such, unless it's part of the Brooklyn Tech campus they hostile takeovered.
I mean, it really depends because I did get a computer information systems degree from Texas Agricultural Manufacturing, so
Okay, we've got a half hour left of game. Unless we want to run later.
Sure. I'm going to hack in to try to find out this information about his funding.
Right. This game starts at 7, so it ends at 10. Okay. Sorry. What are you rolling again? You just told me, my brain then blanked.
I'm trying to find out before we head into the sewers to get ourselves killed. I'm going to try to hack into and to find out about this guy's funding. Because apparently there's this big plot hole around the funding.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to know about that.
His email is Gmail based because all NYU emails are now Gmail. From there you can figure out where he does his banking.
Yep.
But this is all still going to require a hack. Into the banks requires a hacking roll.
Yeah.
And you need to use a demon
and
dice.
I already rolled, so I'm not going to change that, which means that it's an 11. I'm guessing it's a 15 I need for this.
Yes. Did you already use the mandatory demon dice?
I did already use the mandatory demon dice. So I think some more demon dice are asked for here.
That's fine.
Or you could use faith dice from the pool to re-roll any kind of flunky.
That's true. I could use faith die from my pool, but I already rolled another demon die, which rolled a 6.
Okay.
So that gets me up to a 16.
Okay.
I've used 2 demon dice on this roll.
And neither of them used a 1.
3 and a 6.
Okay.
Hi, Brad. Good to see you.
So now what is your total?
16.
Okay.
17 rather.
17. Yep. Success with style. It's even harder hacking here. And it's like, this is a bank that is not central to this neighborhood. It's like being in proximity to the Hellmouth makes all of this so much more difficult. It is very frustrating, as you are a tech, and despite having a night ghost in your brain...
You also have a talisman of hell no.
Yeah. Yeah, you still can all use dice off that. Hi, Brad McGowan. How you doing? Anyway, so yes, 17. So there are definitely bank transactions from a company called Waldron Enterprises Incorporated.
Right.
From there, you start searching for that, and that is just like, that is a shell company. You can almost smell that it's a shell company. And its
corporate headquarters are that one building in the Caymans that has literally 1,760 companies registered to it that's like a 4-story building.
However, which companies share the phone numbers of that company?
There are other shell companies that share that phone number. The thing, though, that so you're hacking. What kind of tool do you use to hack with?
I've got a reasonably Mondo laptop that I've been keeping in back.
Oh, plus you have a backpack full of tech. Did you use any of those dice?
I did not use any of those dice for this. Right?
That's fine. You still got it. Wait, that's right. You all built aspects. I should be keeping track of. Derp. Okay, so, well, you got to succeed with style still. So, the name Waldron sounds really familiar to you, and you do not have to roll to use the Brotherhood database, or I won't make you roll further. To double cross-reference your data, you can use the bike cipher. You can use the Fraggin' Wagon bicycle or not to do that.
Which is, of course, down in the basement of us.
Yep. I am having some trouble with this Wi-Fi, but I am happy to help. So, this is not a shell company that is listed in the database as a problem. However, the name Waldron sets up, like, I forget, DEF CON, is that like 1 is the worst or 5 is the worst?
5.
This would be DEF CON 6.
Okay.
So, and it's the database is like, ah! And you're like, calm the fuck down, database. But you're like, oh, that's bad. So someone didn't name their shell company very carefully. So according to database records, there was a wizard, more or less, some kind of magic user, called Waldron Dankworth, who was allegedly still at large / escaped the purge of the Order of the Infernal Scepter when it went down in the 60s. So he wasn't one of the 5 scions, but he was still a bigwig, and supposedly escaped to, like, some kind of old abandoned World War II sea fortress in England. This guy's in this book! So, Order of the Infernal Scepter is disbanded. However, those of you who have been in New York before and dealing with its problems, this wouldn't be the first time some of you have come across them not being completely dead. So,
one of these days, we will get a technological mad scientist problem that is actually a technological mad science problem and not some kind of mystic shit.
There was, if you look for the VOD, Grad School Blues. Unless you want to just play through it off stream sometime, then don't spoil yourself. But yes.
That's still in character.
Okay. Anyway, someday we'll deal with actual mad science and not this. So yeah, it could be a coincidence because you're not really finding any connections between this shell company and an abandoned World War II sea fortress. But, like, it's an awfully annoying coincidence, and the database has logged this as an uh-oh to look into for later.
I think the guy's getting funded by some kind of sorcerer. In the meanwhile...
Actually, the cipher is like, would you mind putting me on speakerphone?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Beep.
We are out of range of elf, so.
Because you should really tell your team, unless you want to tell your teammates that this might be an Infernal Scepter situation.
I was going to, yes.
So I would highly recommend you telling them that, or just putting me on speakerphone. Thank you. There are some clear design flaws in my new chassis.
Look. I have some parts here. I'm gonna see if I can put together a speaker for the Fraggin' Wagon. With a mute button.
Okay, but he already has that because he's a cell phone.
Oh, he has a cell phone.
He just asked you to turn on the speakerphone.
Oh, then I'll just turn on the speakerphone.
Yeah, it's like, thank you. I am the Fraggin' Wagon Bicycle Edition 11.0. And
Yes, we know.
the database has cross-referenced the name of this shell company, and it matches the name of an Infernal Scepter member that escaped the Purge in the 60s.
Oh, great. Those
This
assholes
could be a
again.
coincidence, but it is an awfully awfully close coincidence. Ciphers don't. He's not been a cipher long enough to curse. So this could be a problem.
Love that.
So it looks like our missing scientist was funded by a potential shell company of the Order of the Infernal Scepter.
I know that asshole. He's the reason why I've got 9 toes on my left foot. Don't ask.
I am going to ask later, actually. I'm very curious.
Meanwhile, 9 toes on your left foot. That's totally the big thing where you're wearing a trench coat.
No, I've done math wrong again. That's me. God damn it.
I mean, technically, it's not your feet that are usually the thing people notice about you, given your lineage and your association. So if Ratchet hadn't displayed, Ratchet's always wearing a really big trench coat that makes him look like he's got a really big middle. We'll let it be a surprise as to why that is later. Shay might already know. I don't know if Josh does.
Definitely already know.
I don't think I know.
You'll find out. Maybe. Depending
if it becomes
on
required.
So, are we going into the sewers? And the knight in your brain is going, yes, we shall go forth and vanquish subterranean dragons!
Sewers.
First, we're gonna see if the guy's even down there. Let's go check the
I will
door,
pull
make
a
sure it got used or something.
I'll pull a crowbar out of my gym bag.
I'll allow it. That's easy enough. Okay.
All right, let's go check it out. So we go down and check the door.
Okay. You
Looking
check the door. I won't make you roll for this. It is a big old iron door that does not quite fit the space it's in now because clearly it's been renovated over the last 200 years. There are definitely scrape marks on the floor in a half circle radiating from the edge of the door.
This fool went in there.
Darn kid.
Totes went in there. At least he closed the door on the way in.
All
Can I
right.
stick my face through the door and take a look on the other side?
Yep, there is a sewer on the other side.
It's completely dark.
It sure is a sewer, guys.
Completely dark.
Thanks, Everclear. Would never have guessed.
Hey, there might have been a surprise on the other side. Let's be completely clear about that.
Fair.
I-
Walked enough ambushes in my day.
Yeah, if you want to make... It is very dark in there, and investigation will require a roll. But you can investigate as a ghost if you don't want anyone else to go in there. Because I'm sure none of you...
You know what you can do as a ghost? Glow.
You're right.
But it'll still take an investigation.
Yeah, take a look around, but...
All right. I
Unless
think
you were
it's worth
secretly
it.
a ranger. And even then...
You don't know that.
You'd
Just
probably
kidding.
still have to roll, but, you know, you'd have ranger bonuses.
Yeah. So,
Because in the immediate area, there's, you know...
this is going to be literally flashy. I suppose Mystic Arts, since I'm using that as my stand-in for a fringe discipline as a ghost, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and I need to roll a demon die with this.
Yep.
Okay. Not terrible. It's a 17. Really not terrible.
Very nice. So, so you just ghost through the door, because you're a ghost, and you go, voom, lights on, flame on!
You definitely hear that from the other side of the door.
Flame on! Alright, 17 is very good.
Arcana Sage. Ranger danger.
Oh yeah. So, good news. It's okay, so it's damp and muddy. We'll call it mud. muddy in here. But it hasn't rained recently, so there are definitely, you definitely see foot traffic going from this doorway down the sewer entrance, or down the sewer tunnel towards the park, which does not really make you feel better about anything. And you see, like, little tiny prints that might be rats. But you also see, like, bigger clawed footprints, ranging from
That's not encouraging.
Ranging from 6 inches long to 2 foot long. And it's so you see biped tracks, and then you see what could be some kind of claw, maybe a bird, maybe a reptile tracks. It also strikes you that, like, the clawed feet are definitely walking in, like, they seem to be very orderly for animals.
Huh.
Like, they're not kind of like, the rat ones are all over the place. Some of them stop where the larger tracks are. But there's something kind of, like, almost regimental about how the clawed tracks go, which is a little like, higher intelligence. That is weirding you out a bit. But all these tracks lead towards Washington Square Park.
Alrighty.
So I think
Once I figured this out, I
meanwhile,
will pop back to the other side of the door, still glowing, just to annoy everybody, and convey the information I have learned.
Would this be a bad time to remind you that my basket acts like the glove compartment, and I can contain flashlights?
Yeah, I already have one. I pulled it out of my pocket.
But I'm glowing.
Sure you are. I turn the flashlight on them. It's one of the bright, safety flashlights that doubles as a club.
Yep. I'll allow that. I mean, you didn't, oh no, well, you said loaded for bear, so I'll allow that for, if you want to use a dice for that. Alright. So, are we going into the sewers?
I think we are.
I will not be that helpful driving. You may have to carry me.
Don't you drive yourself?
I could not even stand up when you met me in the office until Shay was possessing me.
Right, that's Shay's trick.
Shay,
Yeah.
you are more than welcome to try.
I mean, I can go back to driving the bike. There's no one here for it to look weird to.
What's funny is you do that and the bike doesn't have a light on the front, but now the bike is also glowing.
Oh, hell yeah.
So that's kind of fun. This is new and interesting to me.
I feel
So-
like we're a glow stick.
'Cause baby, you're a fire.
Anyway, 20 minutes.
Sorry. All right.
The
So,
door is-
well, let's get the door open.
I dare say the GM Fiat, the door is unlocked. Because the lock is only on this side. And whoever opened it last closed it, but didn't lock it.
Well, they closed
Fair
it to
enough.
the other side, so.
All right. So
No one thought anyone would be dumb enough to exit through this door. Everyone was worried about whoever built this 200 years ago was more worried about what was in the sewer.
I will.
As they should have been.
Yeah, let's go into the sewer.
Yep.
Woohoo! So I will say,
I'll very carefully, when I help opening the door, I will only use my elbows because I did tell Alf that I would not lay a finger on it.
I dare say Ratchet has gloves. Probably multiple pairs of gloves,
Fair.
because reasons.
I always imagined Ratchet with gloves.
Yeah, fair.
I liked these sneakers. I'm probably going to throw them out after this trip.
Oh yeah. No way in any kind of Hellmouth or anything like that are you getting those sneakers out of. No.
I may be able to help you with the paperwork to get reimbursed by the Brotherhood.
That would be helpful, thank you.
Or you just grab more of the same sneakers from the warehouse.
Imagine needing sneakers.
It's not like your Air Jordans are unique.
Are they the blinky light heels?
Sure.
They make the fuck it. It's fantasy world. If they don't make them for grown-ups in the real world,
They
they
do.
do here.
They absolutely do.
Good. I am pleased. All right. So Shay already made the roll to find the tracks. So they're pretty. Again, we'll just call it mud, but the mud is pretty muddy and holds tracks well for at least 48 hours, you assume. And yeah, it's pretty easy to follow. Shay, do you point out?
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you notice the shoe prints? Do you notice the claw prints? Yeah. Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, presumably this guy didn't, just wander down here and stay down here because it was cool or something. The smell alone, and it smells just hideous. Like, it's a smell heavy enough you can taste, except for the person who's got no nose.
imagine needing to smell.
Well, even for Shay, Shay, you can't smell the sewer funk, but it feels evil down here. Ugh.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the bike does have a talisman of hell no attached to the handlebars, so.
Yeah.
You are.
That's why I had you put it there.
You still feel like you might need, you don't even have a body right now, and you feel like you'll need a shower when this is over. It's just, the evil.
Yeah,
And,
no.
So,
Places like this make me glad that Mariam's one of the patrons of disease as well as the rain.
Yep. So the trail continues. You think you've been maybe going a couple blocks, based on the Cypher phone's GPS. You are probably under West 4th and Bleecker. No, wait, West 4th isn't. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Now you're doing it. I was just like, sewers. I haven't been down these since I was over in Europe. The last time I was over in Europe.
You're probably.
I mean, there's nothing quite like an ancient European, cloaca to make you really regret your life choices, but this is coming in a close second.
So you're maybe
The
under
New York sewers
West.
are fairly built wide.
Yeah. You're kind of going. You're in a sewer tunnel that's kind of going around the park. So at this point, you're probably under West 4th and Bleecker. When the two of you who have noses do get the smell of blood.
Like, my nose is probably running at this point, so it's
And Shay, you see, the bipedal tracks stop in a big splatter of what could... The mud discolors it a lot, but could be blood.
That's iron.
Am I getting Mystic Arts
That's
blood
not-
vibes off of it?
I dare say, yeah, you made the tracking roll, so sure.
I don't think there's a forge anywhere nearby, and that's iron.
I mean, New York City's old.
oh, joy.
There's iron in all kinds of weird places.
Yeah, but most things don't smell like iron unless they're blood.
That understood, yeah. Also, metal iron doesn't smell as much as blood iron smells.
Nope.
Because cold iron isn't evaporating. So, yeah.
I've got my flashlight in one hand, and I'll pull my shotgun out in another. The sawed off.
Okay. So, let me take a quick look at your character sheets. Oh, wait, Shay is glowing. Shay is a glowing bicycle. So I'll say, Shay, I will allow you to act before the two sewer gators attack the party. Unless you don't want to. In which case, the gators will go first.
Okay, well, yeah, I would like to act before these things can attack. I think I want to...
You are also very close proximity to ultimate evil. So,
Yeah. I want to, yell at my teammates here to cover their eyes and flash very brightly and literally flashily attack.
So this is where so they literally have the trouble blind.
Oh, they're already blind?
Yeah.
Oh no!
I wanted to blind them!
I've pulled so many dick moves on you already, I kind of feel like you notice, because you're shining, that their eyes are just completely milky white.
Yeah, you don't get the eyes in the dark reflection.
Yeah, so you don't notice any pupil dilation as they come close enough for you to see them. They don't even, you're not sure they have pupils. It looks like one giant cataract, and you can't really tell a color. Their color is just probably mud. You're not sure what color they are underneath the mud, but it's like, yep. So, what would you like to do?
I have to rethink my decisions in life.
Well, I mean, that takes a while because that stopped a while back.
Yeah.
However, your decisions in life.
I mean, I could not literally flashily attack and give off a wave of necromancy, but I'm not entirely sure how that vibe would feel to things that are living in the most evil neighborhood in New York.
I mean, it depends on how high you roll, and if you roll a 1 on that mandatory demon dice.
Yeah, I think it's worth trying because I also do have the stunt of I am death magic, and I can use one of my invokes on undead necromancer, or nightmare beyond death. Sorry, I forgot what I called my actual advantage on that stunt.
Okay. Okay, so you basically generate a free advantage with 2 invokes on it.
Mm-hmm.
Heard of Beyond Beef? Well, this is Beyond Death.
So this is a rephrase of once per session, I can spontaneously create this advantage. That's fine.
Yeah.
I have one like that. I just
start the session with 2 invokes on an advantage, and when that's over, I guess the advantage still technically exists, but I'd have to spend my own faith dice on it. So I'm going to try to scare these things away with, "You will not fuck with the death mage."
Okay.
Weirdly, that sounds like an attack.
Yeah, it is.
That's fine. Because this uses conditions rather than health levels, social combat is still combat.
Yeah. And I turn to it quite often.
Yes.
That is a 13, and I did roll a 1 on my faith die for the
Oh, thank God.
thing.
Okay, but not on the demon die?
Not on the demon die.
Okay, so you used one from your auto stunt.
Yep.
Okay. So, you rolled... wait. Now we go into combat, notes. Okay, what did you roll?
13.
So, patrolling sewer gators will defend with... I did not give them a defense. Okay, we'll say barrel roll can be a defense.
Fair enough.
And quick. And we'll use a demon dice for home team advantage.
Oh, and I was flashily attacking to use my other stunt as well, so that is a 15. I forgot to add that. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. 15? Oh. Wow. Okay.
Is that good for me, wow, or bad for me, wow?
The gators are rolling like shit.
Oh.
Dice jail for 1,000 years! So they rolled a 6 on 3 dice.
Oof.
Okay. So 15 minus 6 is 9. So that is a medium. So yeah, we'll say Shay does still do does Shay eject from the bike?
I mean, I was kind of just giving off the vibe from where I was at, so I don't feel like I necessarily need to in order to do this.
I better make myself look big! Kind of.
Yeah.
Red dwarf cat attack. Okay, so,
The equivalent of a cat puffing out angrily.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shay, you... So suddenly, from the bike, both of you, even though Artie doesn't have a whole lot of occultness going on, or what is your mystic arts? I have your sheet right here.
6. My mystic arts is 6.
Yeah, so you're not... Well, the thing is, even if you're not that perceptive, your ghost buddy's like, ah!
Oh yeah, no.
What? What in the 9 hells was that? And just this wave of just necromantic energy just waves off the bike, and that's when you noticed 2 sewer gators were coming towards you from the other side of the tunnel. And they are not backing. They haven't run away, but they are taking a moment to, like, you know, they have to
reconsider their choices,
because they're just sort of snapping and growling, but they are not getting immediately closer, because what the fuck was that? Which means they could also sense that, which is
which is fascinating.
But then it was very powerful, and given where you all are,
and also animals are more sensitive to that kind of thing, given, you know.
Sometimes,
yeah.
Sure.
So Shay,
I will
Shay decides. We do popcorn rounds in the
Who goes
system,
next?
so
Yes.
Shay decides who goes next. Remember, if the bad guys go last, the bad guys go twice.
I'm gonna let Artie go next because I feel like he got a short end of the stick with a second ghost screaming over what I just did.
On guard, says invisible friend.
Sure. So Artie pulls on a cord underneath his coat, and there's a rustling, like someone rustling a giant piece of a giant sheaf of papers, all made of metal. As the experimental armor that has concealed under his coat. I'm using, because I was meant to be a coder, not a crafter, not a cavalier. Once per session, I can reveal a useful technological or blacksmithing item I made, which is an aspect with 2 free tags. Unfolds into a full plate mail suit of armor, around his person.
I thought I read these sheets before we started. Apparently, my brain did not absorb what was actually on them. Good job, brain.
And then jumps at one of the alligators, attempting to pin its jaws closed. Because as everyone knows, alligators' jaw strength is emphasized on closing, not on opening.
Yep.
Okay.
And this is a clever combat and tactics attack, using Mystic's arms and armor. And I'm also going to spend a free tag on the armor, and I'll spend one of my pool on Night Possessed SCA Geek.
Okay.
And of course, there's a demon die thrown in there because I have to.
Yes. Crocodile jaws closed with 200,000 pounds. Almost 2,000 pounds of PSI. But to open them again, you've seen the picture of the crab holding the alligator's mouth shut.
Wow, those dice are very special. There was nothing. There was no die that rolled higher than a 2. The demon die did actually roll a 2, though.
Okay.
Good God.
I will actually spend. We're close to the end of the session, so I will spend my remaining fate die to re-roll one of the d10s.
Because you spend that added pool out of
That's fair.
Yeah. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wait, yeah, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, because I get +2 when cleverly attacking with medieval arms and armor. And I'm keeping one of my fate dice because one of them rolled a 1.
Okay. What was your total again?
15.
Okay.
For a big roll, that was really low.
Okay, so yeah, it is close to the end of the session. If you don't mind going over a little bit, so I'm just gonna start blowing demon dice on this combat. So discipline or concepts, 1 demon dice for we protect our turf, another for discipline natural blind fighters, another for discipline home team advantage, and they will but they will still try and be quickly barrel rolling out of the way. They roll really surprisingly quickly. Well, not last time because they rolled horribly, but yeah. You could, yeah. So we'll see. Well, don't describe it, Chris, until you've actually rolled the dice, and then we'll see how badly they fuck up. What the fuck is going on here?
Rip.
Dice jail! My ace dice keeps rolling 1s. Oh, okay, but the demon dice are much better. So that's 12, 15, 16. They rolled 20s. So they do they weren't sure what to do when someone was just attacking them with aural energy. But someone actually tries to clobber one. It's like, oh, this we know how to deal with. And, like, you've heard of alligators barrel rolling as, like, to, kill things. But not as, like, a dodge. And they're, like, really surprisingly fast. These guys are, like, 10 foot long.
Huh. The combat is,
and these sewers
is the
are
3 of us plus the alligators as one entity, or what?
There's technically 2 of them. I'm basically running them as a mob of 2.
Uh-huh.
But these are slightly more leveled than typical mobs because, evil.
Yep.
Also sewer gate. This is one of the classic New York City monsters. Alligators are kind of hard to kill.
Which in that case, I think the alligators go next.
Okay. Explain to me again how, your attack didn't land, but you are now in range of the alligators.
I am. I super am.
And they are going to try and bite you.
The disadvantage of being the person in armor is also you're the, tank.
Oh, wait. Yeah, they're biting, so I don't have to use the d6s anymore. They will forcefully... But where am I? Oh, my d10s are in another bag because... I'm playing Vampire on Tuesdays. Okay.
Was biting one of their skills?
Yes, their disciplines are bite attack, tail whip, and barrel roll.
Crocodile, I choose you.
Well, technically these are alligators.
Excuse me, alligator, I choose you.
Remember,
Sorry.
This is scientists. You study U.S. alligators who have the data. No, I'm not.
Tail whip is a Pokemon attack.
Bite is a dark attack, probably.
Why do I keep rolling 1s on the approaches? I don't. Okay.
I believe the most appropriate answer is, it sucks to be you.
And I'm attempting to forcefully dodge out of the way.
Okay. So 6, 12, 13. They roll a 17 to attack you.
And I need to roll the demon die on this. And I defend at 17.
Okay, so they are a lot closer to hit you than you were to hit them, but you still managed to get out of the way because you just saw how agile they are, and that's like 10-foot alligators. Okay, this sewer's a lot wider than you expected it to be, but like 10-foot alligators should not be able to move that quickly in an enclosed space. What the fuck?
Yep.
But y'all just like it's close, but it's like, nope, I know what I'm dealing with now. Nope, you can't have it, nope.
It's like
I'm
one of those
also gonna
anime
add,
fights
I
where
think
they're almost.
their jaws manage to close, but they only close on the armor.
Did you spend for the armor?
I did not actually spend. I did not spend a die out of the armor on it.
All right. I mean, we'll say that
They slide off the armor.
Yeah. Did you use any faith dice for your defense roll? I forget.
I didn't.
Okay. Remember, you've still got a whole bunch of aspects. Shay has Ghost Rider ×2. Ratchet has Loaded to Bear ×3. Artie has Backpack Full of Tech ×1. Ratchet made the Talismans of Hell No ×3.
I still have an aspect on the. I still have one free tag on the armor.
Okay, so the Gators. We'll say Ratchet goes next.
All right.
Who else is yeah.
So I'm a little leery of using a shotgun in a sewer. For one thing, the noise will be incredible. For another thing, I mean, it doesn't fire slugs, so the ricochet is not really a problem, but it's still, like my buddy's right up close in there with it. So instead, because I noticed they didn't do as well against the bad vibrations given off by Shay, I'm going to try and pull a so my specialties are disease and rain, water, but so I would like to pull out so I'm going to pull out a candle, and I'm going to put the gun back in my coat. I'm going to pull out a candle and a couple of wilty looking plants out of my go bag, and I am going to try and spell them a oh god, this is a bad idea. Specific flesh-eating virus into them that only is for alligators.
Okay, so you're invoking Grandma's magic.
Yeah.
Okay, are we free to just keep playing into the night, or do we want to end this soon?
I have somewhere to be at the 30 mark.
Yeah, I'd prefer to wrap up pretty quickly.
I'm just gonna give this to you. I would have liked this combat to go longer because alligator combat is fun, but in the interest of not ruining people's days, so you start, kind of channeling Grandma's magic.
Mm-hmm.
When Grandma kind of like taps you on the head in that it's kind of hard, like. Usually when she speaks to you directly, it's more clear, but there's a lot of interference, you assume, because there's a Hellmouth. She's like, hey, so I have some in with water creatures. Or she's saying it in Hindi.
Yeah.
I have an in with water creatures. Do you just want to talk to them?
Fair, yeah.
They are defending their territory. Like, I don't remember if there are alligators in India, but, like, if there aren't, Hinduism has gone global. She's found out about alligators.
I mean, there are definitely alligators in Egypt, so, So, yeah, I will switch it up.
You're like,
pull out the crystal instead of the flowers, and it's just like... alligators. Talking to you two. We're just passing through. We're looking for a guy. Have you seen another two-legger coming through this way?
Okay, so you still have to roll for it, and you still have to spend a demon die to... So you're basically magicking communication?
Basically.
Okay.
But I would like to point out that we did have an NPC from chat that was the gossipy alligator.
Yeah, no, crocodile. And when we get to that scene, you will meet them.
Fair, okay.
First, we have to get through this combat.
I will do Mystic Arts. I will do it cleverly. I will spend the demon die, and I will invoke my discipline. All hail Grandma. No, that's one I have, but technically she's my great aunt. But anyway, actually, Grandma, I would be in trouble. Ah, shit. Okay. So 10, 17, 20, 23.
Okay.
No ones.
Awesome.
My d10s rolled really well.
Okay, so you rolled at 21, you said?
23.
23. So this is a physics be damned. 23
Hell
versus a 7. So that's 16. So that's a severe. So everyone's kind of in combat mode, so it's almost more like it's more intimidating than you intended it to be, but you did use demon dice, and this whole sewer is just full of evil.
Except, I'm channeling, my great aunt, so that vibe is coming through, and it's just like, oh, like it's a weird vibe for the other two, because they're like, this isn't their style of magic. They're, not their wheelhouse kind of thing.
Okay, so
but it's not evil.
For the sake of ending this combat quickly, so what happens is that the gators kind of back down noticeably. They don't let down their guard, but they kind of stop trying to eat Artie and kind of back up a few steps, and it's like, others have tried to hurt us. We defend the door.
That would be the iron door. Excuse me, that's the wrong accent. That'd be the iron door back there.
No.
Ah, so you the mouth of the river, as it were.
Yes, we defend the mouth.
Have you defended from anybody else recently?
Yes. Men, but no, I was say bipeds, surface dwellers, with weapons, and one with no weapons.
Did any of them make it past you?
That you get a sense of one of them is chuckling. No.
So the one with no weapons
was delicious.
Fair enough. May I approach? Actually, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask my companion to approach. We're not gonna harm you. We just need something that's probably gonna sit in your gut for a while otherwise.
Very well.
Shay, can you reach in and feel around and see if they've got an ID in there?
I can try. The bike stops glowing, and I go over to the alligators to go see if they've swallowed an ID.
What's weird is that they can't see. Based on what you've all seen them do, you're pretty sure they can't see.
Yeah,
they're attacking through like other senses, sound, smell, etc. But they do noticeably kind of like look around, like their heads instinctively move when Shay comes closer to them, which is interesting. But they don't run away. So what Shay, what are you doing exactly?
I'm going to reach into the alligator's stomach, I guess, and try to find the ID that they presumably swallowed.
I guess that's a mystic art. Well, I mean, you're a ghost.
It's free. So... It's free to feel around in there, but getting it out's gonna take a mystic arts roll.
Okay, yeah. I'll allow that. So there's meat, and there's fabric. There are little pieces of plastic. You're not sure if it used to be an ID. And the one that the two they are visibly uncomfortable with this. But they're just like, they're sucking it up, but you can tell like they know you're in there, and they're growling at you. And there's like, what evil is this? Ratchet hears one of them say.
Well, that would be a necromancer with more cohesion than sense. They mostly do work on themselves. Occasionally they don't do it very well.
What are they hunting for?
We're looking for identification for the biped, the unarmed one you ate. He's missing back in there, and he's going to lead us search parties down here if we don't find proof, definitive proof, that he's not coming back.
We mostly only eat the meat. We bring refuse back to the nest. Or back to the den.
I mean, if you think it's there instead of in your guts, we can stop rooting around. And if you want, you can come back and you can pick up refuse to bring to us.
Wait, did they eat the researcher?
It sounds like they probably definitely ate the researcher.
But not only the researcher.
No, not only the researcher. There were other people here with guns who were not the researcher. And not us.
Well, with weapons is how they put, but could be guns.
There. There were...
Do you
Wait, did they kill the researcher, or did the people with guns kill the researcher?
I assumed they did because they said he was delicious, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they actually killed him.
Doesn't follow. He was treating with them peacefully earlier.
No, he just hadn't been caught by them yet.
We saw his footprints along with them.
No, we saw his footprints, and then we saw their footprints. And we didn't even see their footprints. They're not bipedal.
And they're very much addressing Ratchet, because also Ratchet's the only one that can hear them, but Ratchet is speaking to them. Ratchet, are you speaking in Hindi right now?
I'd have to be, yeah. I'd have to them, I would be, because that's how that spell works.
They're kind of like, well, I mean, they're alligators. They always kind of look shifty, like,
yeah,
because they're gators. They're like, you are not like the others. You speak with the voice of a river. That is not this river.
No.
Do you also seek to close the mouth?
I would prefer if it was more closed than it was. It's certainly not doing around here any favors.
They kind of glance at each other. You get a sense of two gators conferring. We can take you to Mama. But if you displease her, we will eat you.
That's fair. The same thing would happen if I took you to Mama, my mama. Well, great-grandma.
Follow. And they turn around and start walking slowly away. More slowly than they have to, because they're both alligators and New Yorkers.
All right. Come on, let's go. They're going to take us to either the den or Mama or both, not sure which. And either way, we'll hopefully figure out more than we know right now about what the hell's going on down here.
I suppose when you're good to Mama.
Mama.
Okay, so I'm going to stop making roll, because now there's no reason to use demon dice. Well, we'll see. Depends on if you displease Mama. So, you continue on in the sewers for a little bit, and then you know what the sewer grates on the sides of where the street meets the sidewalk look like? Like those kind of very narrow rectangular holes? There's basically a big one of those, which the gators go down easily. Y'all, well, Shay can go. The other two of you and the bike have some difficulty shimmying down. It's not impossible, but wow, you feel gross.
I'm gonna need a new coat after this.
Yeah, you're all gonna need clothing replacement vouchers with the Brotherhood when this is over. You all feel very gross, except Shay. Shay just feels gross on a cosmic level because you're going closer to the park. Definitely.
I mean, if we show up to the office like this, Fran's gonna make us change clothes anyway. And probably burn the ones we're wearing.
Fran would freak out if you dragged this much mud onto the carpets in the office.
So, yeah, y'all go below the sewers into what looks more like not necessarily natural hewn tunnels, but tunnels not made by man. And you estimate you're about 30 feet below the sewers and under Washington Square Park, where you come into this very wide, enormous, possibly natural cavern, which again, due to the water table, this shouldn't be here. But neither should the Hellmouth, so 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Where you see the head of what might be a 50-foot-long alligator with giant, like, not even pearls, like cannonballs for eyes. And it is flanked by alligators everywhere from, like 1 foot long to the size you were just dealing with and bigger. And Jesus Christ. And it again, nothing looks at you, but you know that they know you're there. And again, only Ratchet can really understand Big Mama Gator, who kind of growls as you come in.
Oh, great guardian of the mouth. Well, of the door, I guess.
It kind of nods. Gators can't really nod, but she's huge, so she sort of nods in the way of the surface dwellers.
I come not as an intruder, or at least not an intentional one. I came to try and find one who'd lost his way. Not maliciously, but he was still down here where he had not to have been. And, sorry. Nope. Trying to shift up here. Okay, sorry. And it seems that there's more going on down here than just him missing. Something that perhaps we could help with.
There's this, so Shay and Artie, what you hear is a low rumbling. Ratchet, what you hear is a fairly erudite entity. We defend the mouth that the surface dwellers would open. But you are surface dwellers, and you wish not to open but to close the mouth.
Correct.
We will protect our world and our people from this mouth. But if you seek the same goals of survival, we will ally with you. If you betray us, we will consume you. And there's a whole lot of happy grumbles about that, echoing all over the cave.
I speak with the voice of a great river, and I say that our goals are aligned. We are here, we wish to help close the mouth as much as it can be closed without, as much as we can close it. There's only so much we can do. There's 3 of us. And we seek survival. If we could also, there's one of the intruders was fellow of your fellows here, and we're hoping to get some of his belongings back so we can prove that he ain't coming back. Otherwise, there's going to be more people down here looking for him.
Understood. And she kind of grumbles something else that you can't quite make out, and a few tiny gators kind of bring out, like, a lot of ripped up clothes and pieces of metal that maybe used to be guns, and some that used to be swords and are bent, and it's just kind of this mess of basically the parts the gators couldn't eat. Some of it's shredded, so they probably ate some of it by accident, but, you know, they have standards. Also, plastic is bad for creatures.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean they don't eat it by accident sometimes. And they're like, this is what's left of the intruders. We do not tolerate surface dwellers in our territory. We make no apologies for eating the unwise. They died of their own mistakes.
They came where they shouldn't have been, and they got what they ended up with, you know? I mean, it's, you know, you walk it, you roll a dice, and that's what happens. But,
So, at that, she You get a sense that she's smiling, but she's a 50-foot-long alligator, you think, several tons, and it's just this big, scary, toothy grin. Then we understand each other. And yeah, do you look through the pile of refuse?
Yeah, basically.
You do find Noel Gonzalez's wallet. It's a bit chewed up, but there is stuff in there, and yeah. You also find some cheap, crappy pleather, like, bomber jackets with unmistakably the fricking Infernal Scepter logo on them. And you're just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Alright, we're gonna take those back.
We have no use for this refuse.
Alright. I'm gonna take what I can find of what I think is Noel Gonzalez's clothes anyway, with two.
There is, like, the remains of what might have been a white lab coat once upon a time. It's not really white anymore, but, you know.
Yeah. So I'll take that back, too. And in return, I didn't come exactly prepared for a whole ritual, but if you would like, I'll take my amulet of Hell No and hold it out to her.
And she kind of sniffs it. This is magic not of the mouth.
Nope, it's a magic of the faraway river that will hopefully wash away the mouth.
She wouldn't say magic, she would say power. This is a power not of the mouth.
Right.
We have heard tales of surface rivers. Is this one of those kind?
One of the great ones, albeit one from far away.
Then they are lucky to be so far from this living nightmare.
Indeed. However, in and of itself, it rejects the presence of the bad stuff, so...
She sniffs at it, she's like, yes, it is interesting to me.
So, with your permission, I'm just gonna wedge it up against one of your scales here, one of the big heavy ones on the snout.
She kind of she lowers her snout a bit to allow you.
There you go. And just, make sure it's firmly there, because I'm not about to try and get a piercing on this alligator, and I don't want her to swallow it.
It's a piece of paper, so.
Yeah.
There's definitely just, like, she's just covered in just slime and gunk. And it doesn't bother her, but yeah, there's plenty to stick it to.
Yep, so I'm just gonna plaster that on such that she's got at least some power against the hell stuff, and I don't have a full-scale ritual to try and do any kind of sealing.
From what you can tell, like, general consensus, gators are difficult to kill in general, so these things might, however they got here, whether the mouth created them or not, like, you're not sure what's going on, but you get a definite sense that the natural high con save of the alligator is the biggest thing that's stopping them from turning evil. Or if they are evil, then it hasn't killed their sense of self-preservation.
Yeah. They're the lizardy kind of evil, like this is all mine, but this is making it bad for me, so go away.
In their own kind of natural way, like a lawful evil versus the mouth, which is a chaotic evil, or a lawful evil that doesn't agree with theirs, like...
Yeah.
And clearly it looks like the Infernal Scepter didn't try to, like, make friends with them.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, this would technically be good magic, but it's really river magic, which is also in itself kind of neutral, so... but it is something against the Hellmouth, so... That's my sign of good faith that hopefully we're going to try and, push this a bit closer to being closed. And we'll take the clothes and stuff and head back to the surface if she lets us.
She will allow... It's like, so... Do you vow to aid us in stopping the mouth?
I pledge to do all in my power to try and see this Hellmouth closed.
And your companions?
I turn to them and I say in English, because none of them have figured out what this is. All right, so Mama Gator here doesn't really like the Hellmouth and would like to see it closed. What she wants from us is a promise of aid in that endeavor at some point in the future.
I mean, ultimately, this is what the local Brotherhood has been trying to do for years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Seems like good allies to have in a fight we were already fighting.
As long as it doesn't involve hurting innocents, I'm in.
And with that, like, again, only Ratchet hears it, but apparently Big Mama Gator can understand. Innocence, there is no innocence in our world. If someone is foolish enough to come down here without announcing themselves, their death is their problem.
So, to translate, Mama says that if anybody comes down here without identifying themselves as allies, then they're food. So, their natural prey is whoever the hell shows up, and whoever the hell shows up, taking their lives in their own heads coming down here anyway.
I do understand how wild animals work, even if they're not exactly animals. Speaking of which, Frackin' Wagon, you got recording this? I know the linguist geeks are really going to want to look at it.
I am recording all of the sounds. I understand what Ratchet is saying in Hindi. I do not quite understand what the alligators are growling, but I am recording.
Excellent.
Also, if this, I am recording magical wavelengths, but I cannot always record telepathy, if that is what's happening accurately, but all of this will be analyzed by R&D later.
Fantastic.
All right. And, Mama, so you know the name of your allies. I'll pull my sleeve up to show my Brotherhood tattoo. We're the Brotherhood of the Celestial Torch, and it's our job to make sure...
Tattoo montage!
Darn ya. Tattoo montage. Artie's on his ass.
Hold on, I need to find the unpull switch to this armor. It's under here somewhere.
Where did I leave it?
We're the Brotherhood of the Celestial Torch. Our entire job is to set against things like the stuff in that's going on in the mouth. Basically closing it.
Good. Actually, good might not be in our vocabulary. Then you are welcome here. Just announce yourself carefully before coming down. Also, we do not speak for all of our kind, only our tribe around the mouth.
I mean, that's fair.
This is, yes, technically, that is satisfactory. You may leave now. We will not trouble you.
Much obliged. All right, so the real question is, do we go back out the way we came in, smelling like sewer, looking like sewer, or do we try and find a manhole cover?
Manhole cover.
Plenty of those.
The only reason I'm not just like rocketing straight out of here is because I feel responsible for getting Cypher Bike out of here.
Oh, and by the way, there is, sorry Harlan, we ran late. Going with you is this chatty, like, it's really nice and actually speaks English and you're not sure how, but it's not an alligator, it's actually just like a normal crocodile and it can see and it's like, oh hi, yeah, I'm gonna help you out of here. They're really nice once you get used to them, and it just keeps talking and talking. Do you want a better way out of here? So none of the other surface dwellers see you looking so gross?
That would be
great. Also
just the
somewhere
best
near where we can get a bath. That would be fantastic.
I'd settle for a hose at this point.
I can find you a hose, sure. And it just, so this crocodile kind of helps lead you out and the other gators pay it no mind. And it starts telling you about, oh yeah, there's gators all over the sewers, but this is only one tribe of them and no one knows where they come from and no one knows why they exist. They're just there and, you know, they're nice enough to let me stay. I'm an exchange student as a surface dweller because I'm also one of their, and it just keeps going on and on. But it leads you to like, kind of like a back alley sewer drain, and there's like a spigot with a hose tied up next to it because it looks like it's near some park garden or something. No one's around right now, so it's pretty easy to hose yourself off. If you take the subway back to Queens, New Yorkers have a great way of just ignoring what's weird or unpleasant.
Yep, especially on the subway.
Yeah. So yeah, you have established the missing person is dead. You probably have a good understanding of why MUAHAHA was interested in them, but also he was being funded by Order of the Infernal Scepter, who also tried to investigate these creatures and did not succeed. And these are the pieces you have.
Yep. Well, we're definitely reporting that back to the Brotherhood, and we're gonna give the sack full of sad remains to Fran.
Yeah, she's like, all right, we can... So now okay, we knew there were gators in the sewers, but okay, I guess they can be reasoned with, and our interests align, so okay.
These gators can be
These gators, the blind ones near the Hellmouth.
Okay. I mean, they're all blind, but, you know. Anyway, alright, so she kind of, like, has some plastic gloves on and is putting this in, like, an evidence bag. Alright, we can mock something up to make it clear he's not coming home, which is too bad. 'Cause, I mean, he was onto something. He just, you know, too mundane to know what the real danger was. Oh, well. But,
I mean, you work with wild animals, you run some risks.
Yeah, I guess. Whew.
I mean, this is why we lose half a dozen R&D people a year to the dragons.
That's true. It's just, I don't know, part of me, I feel kind of bad when they're not Brotherhood, because, like, our people know the risks and do it anyway. I don't know. Anyway,
I mean, Steve Irwin died to a stingray, so...
True. I mean, alright, so, well, I mean, that's what we told people. Anyway, I can send this to the right people to make it clear he's not coming back, but also clear that he didn't die in a sewer by a gator attack, because...
That will lead investigations.
They're our allies now, so I guess we need to defend them, because they're better at defending the Hellmouth than we are.
That too, but also leading people down there would just mean losing more people. Yeah. This is defending the cops as much as defending the alligators.
True. Alright, well, mission accomplished, and, yep, with that, kind of somewhat satisfactory ending to this mission, I guess. Well, we know what happened to the guy.
That was the goal to begin with.
Yeah, just find out what happened, and, well, that happened. There's now more evidence that the Order of the Infernal Scepter is at large in New York City and still not making very good decisions. But gods forfend they start wising up, then we will be in trouble.
Oh, that's right. We also gave Fran the bomber jacket with the Infernal logo on it.
Yeah. Yep, she's like, oh, great. Ew, it's pleather.
Oh, I've got an org chart of a couple of Infernal, what are pretty clearly shell companies.
All right.
We may keep an eye on this.
Yeah, email them to us. We'll start keeping an eye out for them. All right. So, and with that, we conclude tonight's game of a classic tale of New York City folklore and urban legend. Because are there gators in the sewers? It's more fun if there are.
You found the answer to the riddle. The answer was there were alligators.
The answer is gators. Also, we found out what happens when Brotherhood agents have to work really close to Washington Square Park. Which is funny because one of the Omega chapters I'm designing is a bunch of NYU students at the Sci-Fi Club. So they have a shitty time of it on their home turf all the time. Woohoo. Yay for them. Anyway, so hi, I'm the GM, and this is Demon Hunters, a comedy of terrors by The Dead Gentleman and/or Zombie Orpheus Entertainment. I don't remember how those companies work, and we don't have time to explain it. Google it. I'm sure they will explain.
I think this is still technically DG.
Okay, so Dead Gentleman. It is a fate-based system called Faith Core, which is very fun, and I use it even for other settings, and it's fun. So, everyone else do outros while I look for someone to raid. Also check out our social medias, because those are mostly me too. So, but yeah, so, Merc, who are you? I'm Ratchet, who are you when you're not Ratchet?
Yep. I'm Merc. I played Ratchet tonight. Normally I play Dune, Wolfblood, on the continuing campaign for this channel, which is NWAD in Space. It's Exit to Eden. That's really all I do. I'm not terribly interesting otherwise. And yeah. Shay, it's your turn.
Hello, I'm Dracus. You can find me here most weekends during this time slot and on Tuesdays now at 7:30, 8 We started that game at 8, where we're playing Vampire the Masquerade, which is fun and interesting and kind of eldritch. And you can find me on social media as Actual Dracus, just like I am in chat. That's about that for the moment.
Oh wait, do you have Twitter now?
No.
Oh, okay. So
I just have Instagram and Discord and technically Facebook, but I probably don't see much there.
I'm Josh. You saw me as Artie here, as Petruchio on the regular World of Darkness the space game. You can find me on the internet in various places, although this is the only place I stream, as either Nemex as I am in chat, or more often as Neme without the X.
there are not a let's raid the Dice Cult again. Thank you, players, for remembering to plug the other games, because I forgot. I should just write this down. It's been a bad brain day for me. Okay, so the Dice Cult is currently on break, but they are playing an RPG, and like no one else is tonight, but that's not really different. Alright, so yes, Tuesday is Vampire the Masquerade. This will be the final installment, but it's only 3 games long, so because we are trying something new, and we will try to announce on Tuesday what we're doing next, but we might not know by then. Another thing I forgot to do this week. Great. I'm so bad at being a Twitch producer.
We'll figure it out. Stay tuned. Keep an eye on our Discord.
Oh,
we will communicate what's up.
I forgot how to do a raid command. Hooray.
I don't think I ever knew in the first place.
Raid.
Yep, I know.
There we go.
So we are going to go raid the Dice Cult, who are running Vampire the Masquerade. Hooray. Which is what we do on Tuesdays. #Family. So, and next week we'll be back with Exit to Eden, where there's a big fancy party going on, and shit's about to get real. Watch our last VOD for details.
It'll be insane. Hope you'll all join us for it.
Possibly a lot of Changeling the Lost related bullshit, so yes. They are not known for high clarity. And, yeah, so until, you know, if you're watching live, thanks. I hope you got channel points to spend to torture us. If you're watching on VOD, on YouTube, or Twitch, also thank you. Please tell your friends to watch us live. Or watch the VODs. You know, it's cool. Thank you for your eyeballs. So until the next time you see us, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. We will see you next time for wonderful, distracting nerd shenanigans. Bye!